Take care, brother.
This is a special edition for tonight?
Yeah. Something coming out of that table. A bottle of
Fridays, this another Friday with 9 Miles International and Selector One.
Fire Fridays, louder than ever, 6 to 9 p.m. Blazing the conscious fire with your favorite radio superstars.
Fire Fridays.
Tune in and start your regular weekend with Fire Fridays, 6 to 9 on Power 1 and 2. Empowering you.
You're listening to Power 102. Sexplosion is on Power 102 and now on new days and at new times. The country's most informative sex education program, Sexplosion, is on every Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. and Fridays from 9 p.m. to midnight with Dr. Raj, the guru of sex in the Caribbean.
A lot of times we think that sex is totally below the waist. It is not below the waist. It starts in the brain. Your largest sex organ that you possess is your brain.
Tune in for discussion on all sexual matters. Sexplosion on Power 102. Empowering you.
You miss it. You miss it.
No.
You tell me now, you're asking. I hear you miss it, you go tell me, nah. What is wrong with all you? Why are you so?
Thank you for staying with us on Power 102.1 FM. A very special nighttime greetings to you. Special thanks as always to 9 Miles International and also to Wally keeping us company the last couple of hours. Well, taking our time is now 8 minutes after 9 o'clock, and we do welcome you to Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM with your host, Dr. Raj, of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center at St. Augustine, where he do treats all sexual dysfunctions, men and women. And a very special good evening to you, my big brother. How are you today? You're looking fresh.
Pleasant good evening.
Looks like you had a very good day today.
Today was kind of weird.
Kind of weird.
Well, one of my neighbors died, and next door to that neighbor is a wedding. So I had to attend both.
A wedding?
A week and a wedding. Only in Trinidad, you know.
Only in Trinidad.
Yeah.
I hope that...
Week at one house and wedding at the other house. Maticor, you know.
Where the house is far apart.
Next to one another. They share the same wall.
So how did them together?
Well, they dealing with it okay.
I hope that you went to the wake first, at least you might have had a happy ending.
No, you can't go to the wake first and then go to the wedding. A wedding is a religious festival. You don't do that.
Really? Okay.
After you finish at the wedding, then you go to the wake.
You
can't do that.
No, then it must have been a very sad day for you.
Well, it's sad and happy.
Yeah.
Well, very happy for me. Brazil gone.
Hey, no.
I was ecstatic. I was, oh my God.
It was a good game.
Me studying the game. All I care is that they go. Because I think Brazilian fans feel they have a divine right to the World Cup. That the World Cup is theirs. You ain't qualify for the quarterfinal, but guys are celebrating that they're going to win the World Cup.
As a matter of fact,
I heard one person say, it's their World Cup to lose.
A couple of...
But you write off all the other teams already?
Yeah.
And they cannot get over the European team since 2004.
No.
2006, sorry.
I think it's...
so, I'm happy.
We had a little discussion also in the studio there. I think Belgium seemed very, very...
To tell you the God honest truth, I hope a team that has never won the World Cup wins the World Cup.
You think that will happen? You have...
I hope so. I don't want England to win it. I don't want France to win it. I want a team that has never won it.
So, which leaves you with two: Belgium,
Belgium, Russia, Croatia.
Croatia.
What's the other team? One of them. So, anyway, we're here to talk sex. After Friday program, it was so hot. I had a lot of people requesting to learn about the sensual sexual massages. And I have about 20 persons who have indicated that they want to come to the classes. The class is only a one class, you know. If you don't pick up the things that I told you during the program in one session, something is wrong. It is so simple to learn. All you have to do is concentrate on what you need to do. Like everything else, your energy goes into whatever you're doing. But the sexual part of it has to do with you. If you don't, it's either you have it or you don't have it, you know.
Yeah. But if someone comes to do the class and you could tell off the bat within the first 15 or 20 minutes, say, look, this person look like they're into it, or this person look like, hey, look.
You need some extra classes. Yeah, of course. Like everything else. You will look at their disposition, how they handle things, what they're doing. Of course, we have a lot of females who want to do the class also. Those who don't have a partner to do it with, of course, it will be demonstrated with somebody I could do the demonstration on. The sensual part is really what you have to concentrate on. The sexual part is where you come in and what your input into whatever you're doing. You must know how you can be sexual with your partner. Some persons want to just fine-tune whatever they're doing, how they handle that sort of intimacy. And that's all well and good, because my focus would be on teaching you exactly what you need to do, the steps that you have to take to achieve those things, and you take it from there. It's going to be like a 2-hour session, 2.5 hours session. And the reason for that, there'll be lots of talking instructions while everything is going on. And you know, one of the things that I spoke about when you're getting into something like that, loose clothing is essential. You must be comfortable. Pay attention to whatever is going on, and you'll get an opportunity to even practice some of the steps, because you're there to learn. The learning process, I'm there to teach. So more than likely, when I've done a demonstration, and I'm not going to go into a demonstration based on the normal time. A normal massage, let's say it takes 55 minutes. I am not going to do a massage for 55 minutes. I'm going to do it for 25 minutes. And the other 20 minutes, 30 minutes, that will be done by the persons who are taking part in it. So I know there are lots of individuals out there who are interested in doing the sensual sexual massage course, who wants to just see what it's like. One person told me he wants to fine-tune what he has heard, and he wants to ensure that he can conduct the massage and be able to express himself. And all well and good. All well and good. And as a matter of fact, there are 2 females who are coming to do the class also. So it's, I think it's something that will be a really good learning experience, because describing something, you know, it's like watching a cricket match, or you hear or football, and you hear a commentary, and you're not seeing what's going on. So when I describe what is going on, you of course, radio is theater of the mind.
You paint a picture.
So you paint a picture, and you get the person to understand, and you know the different strokes, and you know what's happening and whatnot. But when you actually dare to feel what's going on, you see what's going on, the radiation of the body heat and the chemistry between each person, and the atmosphere is not going to be rigid like it's a classroom. Right. It's going to be a relaxed atmosphere where you are actually participating in something that you want to learn.
Because you have to set that trend.
You have to do that. You must do that, because
you wouldn't get
the relaxation is important. You must be. I'll tell you something about massages. Any person who is going to give a massage, make sure you're relaxed. If you are tense, if you are stressed out, you're not going to do a good massage. If you're doing it because the person wants it and you don't want to do it, don't do it. You'll never do a good massage. Massage is transference of energy from you to the person. It may sound simple, you know. Now, if I'm talking about, I'm not talking about a sports massage where you sprain your ankle and whatnot and you need to get that massage. That's something different. I'm not talking about a therapeutic massage. I'm talking about something sensual and sexual. Transference of energy, the feelings that you radiate to the person, the feelings that you get from the person because you're touching someone. When you're touching that person, you're getting body heat. transference of energy.
Right.
Your aura is interacting with that person's aura because you're very close to the person. You interact with the five senses. That's why it's important whenever you're doing something like that. You are in control of what's happening, but you also go in with the flow.
Yeah.
So you pick up on those positive energies and you work with it. So all those who haven't received the broadcast as yet concerning the classrooms and the classroom setting and learning about the massages, you can contact me 740-1961. Like I said, sometime later this month, I think it's going to start from next week Saturday.
Yeah.
We're going to start having the classes, and maybe it will extend into the Sunday, depending on how many people. I don't want to have a classroom full of 25 persons.
No,
Doesn't make sense.
better to take them in
If you have 25 people, you might do three classes, 8. So the lesser amount, and then you're able to give a hands-on knowledge, pass on the knowledge to the person, and you're there to watch each person perform, and it's not going to be tiring for you. Because when you, I had somebody do the massage recently, and when they were finished, they were like, "This thing takes a lot of energy." It does.
You feel drained.
You feel, yes, drain is not the right word, because drain will give you the impression that you need to lie down and take a rest afterwards, but you feel energized at one point, and then you feel, I need to take a break. This thing is really intense, and I need to take that break.
You just come down to that normal level.
You have to bring yourself down to that level.
Yeah.
But like everything else, anything to do with sex, anything to do with massages and having fun is fun.
I mean,
Especially when you're incorporating oral sex.
it sounds like a lot of fun.
Especially when you're incorporating oral sex and not penetrative sex with whatever you're doing. Because the oral part of the sex is what makes that creates that certain level of course, if you're doing it correctly. Because a lot of persons may not know how to do a blowjob properly, may not know how to perform cunnilingus properly, may not know how to do analingus properly. They don't know how to do it properly. They may know how to lick, but it's not as simple as licking, because
putting the feeling into it.
not only the feeling, but you have to figure out what the person likes and what they're going to react to.
Well, it all depends too on the person, what energy that they kick off on you as well, right?
Remember, when you're doing this thing, you are, let's say for example, you're performing oral sex on someone, and the person is more clitorially stimulated.
Yeah.
You have to find that out, and you have to find that out with your tongue.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you find that out, there are little techniques that you need to do to come to the realization of what the person likes more than the other things. And there are some women who don't give you a sign; they just lie there. And so if your partner is like that, you're in trouble.
Makes you wonder what you're doing right or what you're doing
And there are
wrong.
some women who cuts off. For whatever reason, they cuts off because they find that this thing's so pleasurable. They say tickling. They use different excuses when it's not that they're feeling, but they don't want to go further because they get the sensation as though they want to urinate also. So they're afraid that they'll pee down themselves.
Okay.
But when it comes to the sexual part of it, you must be prepared to for whatever consequences take place there with that particular thing that you're doing. So you must have the mindset. You must know what you're doing. You must also be alert as to what the person is telling you with their body, with their moaning. Because we have said that many times on the program. Up to last week we have said that. The way your partner reacts to you, and this is both male and female. If you're lying there and your partner is performing a blowjob on you as a man, and you're just lying there and you're like all blasé about it, how is she going to know that she's doing it right? Or you're feeling good? Don't you have to tell her something or make a sound or react? You must react.
Yeah, react.
But there are some women who don't react at all. They don't like to react because they think that it's unladylike.
Yeah, but you as the person who's giving the massage, you lose a little energy there because you're telling yourself that you're doing.
You lose a lot of energy because you're putting out more than you normally would put out.
And you're not getting back anything.
No, you're not getting any feedback.
So
you're not getting what you're looking for.
So that kind of kills this thing too.
It drains your energy. It makes you feel as though that I'm putting all this effort into whatever needs to be done, and nothing is happening. So am I doing the right thing?
Yeah.
You question yourself.
Well, how could I go about bettering myself in what I'm doing? to make that person your partner who you're giving the massage satisfaction?
I know my cousin Kiki had asked me, Kishore, you wouldn't believe the amount of things I just get on my phone. I know you asked me to talk on something in particular, and I'd appreciate it if you send it again to me, WhatsApp, on my 7401961 number, so I can touch on it tonight. And like I said, I know you did ask something, and I just can't remember what it was. I didn't read it fully because there was so much. Today I had a kind of melancholy kind of mood.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I was connecting with someone and that person wasn't going through a good time. And that kind of threw me off this morning. It really threw me off. And that's sometimes when you have a connection with someone or you have a feeling about someone and something is happening negatively to the person, it impacts upon you. If something is happening positive, it impacts upon you also. And that's how my day started off. So it was kind of a bit tough.
It's not nice to start the day off.
No, and that's how my day was starting off.
Mm-hmm.
And it started to get tiresome for me when that was happening. So I had to do some things to rejuvenate and get over that. But it's amazing sometimes the things that you go through.
But what you should have gotten was a good massage.
I wish I could have.
That can, you know.
No, I wish I could have, but I couldn't.
Take the energy out.
Well, it would have been good if, you see, there are very few persons who could massage me.
Ah.
Very few persons who could do that.
When you say few, it's few. I say when you say few, it's very, very,
Very few, very few. Not anyone can massage me.
Mm-hmm.
No, it doesn't work that way. Very few individuals who could really massage me and I could get what I want out of it. And that total relaxation. Sometimes it causes me more pain than anything else. And that's a very serious thing. If, for example, if a woman is on a period and she touches me, my lower back is in problem. So if you have your period, don't come near me to give me a massage especially.
You have that kind of effect on you.
Yeah, I'm telling you. There are certain things, if the person don't know how to massage, or if the person is scared or apprehensive about doing the massage, I get serious back pain. Serious. And I know immediately. So I have to do things while I'm getting the massage to overcome that.
Okay. Yeah.
So it takes energy out of me too.
Yeah, you have to kind of reverse that feeling.
So, it's not an easy thing.
Anyway, folks, taking your time, it's now 24 minutes after 9 o'clock. You are listening to Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM with your host, Dr. Raj Ramnanan of Total Imaging, the Adult Therapy Center out at St. Augustine. And tell you what we are going to do is open our lines and take your calls. For those of you who would love to interact with Dr. Raj, feel free at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. May I remind you that this program may contain material that is not suitable for children. Parental guidance and therefore advised. Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM. Yep.
So based on the topic tonight, a continuation of Friday night, because like I said, a lot of people were interested in that.
I love I love the massage.
Yeah, it was something different. The instructions on the sensual sexual massage was very important because it's something that is going to help couples to come back to get closer. Because let's face it, lots of time you don't know what to do as a couple.
Okay, well, let's put a pin on that. We're going to go to the lines. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening. Hi, good evening. Go right ahead.
If your husband or your boyfriend is having premature ejaculation, is Kamagra and Retrograde and those sexual things that are selling in the pharmacy, is it okay to take those?
No, that does not cure premature ejaculation. That's not for premature ejaculation. If a person has premature ejaculation, two things happen. It's based on sensitivity and weakness in the PC muscle, the pubococcygeal muscle. If there's a weakness in the pubococcygeal muscle, no tablet that you take is going to cause you to last longer. If it's sensitivity compounded by a weak PC muscle, you're talking about serious problems. If you're taking a tablet to last longer, it will not work.
Okay, thank you.
How old is the person?
32.
And a 32-year-old shouldn't be taking a tablet to have sex.
Okay then.
Unless he has a sexual dysfunction. A lot of times,
Well, thanks a lot for calling. Yeah.
guys don't want to admit that they have a sexual dysfunction.
No,
But if you need to take a tablet to have sex, you have a sexual dysfunction. So you need to work on your sexual dysfunction. Get rid of it. Find the root cause of your sexual dysfunction, erectile dysfunction, and work on getting a cure.
Well, I can tell you that nobody does better what we do best when it comes to sex education. Right here on Power 102.1 FM, Sexplosion, with your host, Dr. Raj of Total Imaging, the Adult Therapy Center, on this Friday evening. For those of you, as I mentioned, would love to interact with him via the telephone, you can give him a call at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. Yeah.
So continuing with that part of it, and remember I did say with the sensual sexual massage, there is also an intermediate and an advanced stage. There's also techniques that you can use in your marriage, in your relationship. Oral techniques, for example, with your partner. Now, of course, this is not, you're not doing this with every Tom, Dick, and Harry Lal. You're not doing this with every Jane and Joan and whoever, and Cassandra. Oh dear. You have to know your partner to be doing these things. Because it don't make sense. You learn your partner's body.
Yeah.
You learn his or her reaction. And you take that same knowledge and you try to transfer it onto another individual who is totally different from your partner. Unless you have the technique to figure out how this person is going to react as opposed to the other person. And there's some men out there who are good at that. They can have sex with 5 different women in a week and they will know each one range and what they can do and what they can't do and their feelings, and they are tuned to it. But not all men could do that. Not every man could do that, because most of the time when a man is having sex, he thinks about how quickly he can get his rock off, how quickly he can get the satisfaction he wants from the sex. And he's not really attuned to what the woman wants out of it.
The feelings that,
How much he has to put into it. He's not concentrating on that. If you concentrate on that, and you concentrate on that with your partner, you will learn techniques and you will learn things to do where you have a certain level of control, where you have the ability to stimulate your partner to the highest degree. Because, and again, not all time women want to be stimulated to that degree.
Yeah.
And that's another fallacy. Sometimes, like I said, sometimes some women just like to hug up and love up without having sex.
Cuddle.
And you cuddle. You got to know when to do that also.
Timing is important as a man.
And there are some times that the woman will come on to you and she will initiate sex. What about the times that she initiates sex? Do you have it in you to do what you're supposed to do? There are some women who love oral sex. There are some women who don't like it. So you can't insist that the person does something that they don't like because you like it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with anal intercourse. A lot of women have problems with anal intercourse because the first time they tried it, it was painful. It wasn't done right. Their partner caused hurt on them. So they turned off of it. So they don't want to give it a try at all. And there are those who love it. They will do it. They enjoy the sensation of anal intercourse, whatever the sensation is to them. Some persons it's a bit painful. Some persons it's a pain and pleasure. But they enjoy doing that. It all depends on your partner.
Yeah, it all depends on the individual that you're exchanging with anyhow. Waldron Grant, Verbal Lover. Good night, Dr. Raj and Junior.
Good evening.
I'm listening live. I know the program will be good tonight, or I should say this evening. Yeah. Anyway, folks, taking our time 29 minutes before 10 o'clock. You're listening to The Magic of Sex Education with your host, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center at St. Augustine, where he treats all sexual dysfunctions. Our lines are open for those of you who would love to interact with him via the telephone. He's taking your calls at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. You're listening to a program that's informative, educational, and of course entertaining, exclusively on Power 102 FM. Yep.
Now think about some of the men out there who are a bit more mature, who are older, who it takes a little more to stimulate them.
Yeah.
You don't need to have a rock hard erection to start having sex. What you can do as soon as you get stimulated, there are a number of things that you can do with your partner. Oral sex is one of those things that helps a man with premature ejaculation if done right, and if he's able to stand the sensation or the sucking sensation that he gets on his penis. If he can't do that, he's going to ejaculate in your mouth or he's going to ejaculate prematurely.
Okay, we're going to go back to the lines. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening. Hello, good evening. Okay, that a husband or wife or someone there. Yeah.
So if done properly, and if you are desensitizing the penis, especially if a guy has sensitivity on the head of the penis, and you're desensitizing the penis, for example, if you're giving a blowjob in that manner for that person, you squeeze the base of the penis where it joins the scrotum, that thick vein underneath there, which is called the spongiosum.
Yeah.
You squeeze that so the person don't ejaculate while you're giving them the blowjob. But there's some women who don't even know how to play with a man's scrotum or ball sacks. She don't know what to do, how to stimulate that or how to massage it while giving a blowjob, how to cup it. So again, I'm not putting on anyone for it, but if you learn from your partner, he or she is supposed to tell you what you're doing right and what you should be doing to stimulate him or her.
Because in a position like that, you would need some kind of guidance because you want to please your partner. So you will wait to get.
And if you don't know the person,
yeah.
If you don't know how the person is going to react, you must be able to do some of the things at the basic level and see how the person reacts and then go one step further. With guidance, of course. The guidance is the important factor here. Once you get the proper guidance, you'll be able to do all the things necessary to get that stimulation.
So you got to feel your way out.
Yeah.
To find, and then...
Well, you're feeling your way out with the help of the person because you want the person to tell you whether you're doing it right or wrong, what you should be doing. It doesn't make sense somebody is doing something on you. For example, let's say, the person starts by kissing you. They're kissing down your neck and you're ticklish on your neck. Are you going to be stimulated?
No,
it's a turn off.
Yeah.
So what you have to tell the person that while they're doing it, I'm not there. Or you simply turn. So if you're ticklish, let's say for example on your left side, you turn to the right.
I believe in the turning part, but by just mentioning that not there, that could be a turn
But you have
off.
to know how to say the not there.
Exactly, because
You're not going to say, hey, not there.
Yeah, because that could be a turn off to the person.
But then again, you have your hands, you have your body, you have your and your and you have your and you have your
Yeah, but is, I mean, that's your last chance.
7401961 Kiki.
Yeah, after the third one, then you know.
Well, once you start doing the right things, I'll give you a simple technique, and I hope some of the folks out there implement it when they're making love. If you want to get your partner interested in anal intercourse, you don't go jamming the penis into the anus. You don't. When you're performing oral sex on the person, you're orally stimulating the person. They're going to get wet. They're going to leak, and the leakage is going to go over the perineum and over the anus. If you start playing with the perineum and gently glide your thumb down and touch the anus, but you touch the anus in a massaging motion, either stroking up and down or in a circular motion, not creating any pressure or anything to that area, the person is going to relax, That very same person might, for example, touch it, they might do so, But if you continue doing it in a gentle motion, or you do the sides of the anus before you actually touch the hole itself, the person is going to become more relaxed. So eventually, when playing with the area, the first night you may not even penetrate or don't even try to penetrate. But the next time the person will look forward to it. So there are some women who like to stimulate a man's prostate. They like to insert their finger in a man's anus. Their husband wouldn't like it, their boyfriend don't like it. But if they do the very same technique, you could use their tongue, you could use their thumb, you could use their finger. Make sure there's a lot of lubrication, which is your saliva. Make sure there's a lot of that. The person is going to own up to you. But if you go to take your finger and stab it into the anus, the person is going to pull away and tell you, no, don't do that. I don't want you doing that. And you will be surprised if you do it carefully and consistently, that person who was against that eventually will want you to do it.
So in other words, you play around first.
You play around first, correct.
And get your partner to relax.
Get the person interested in what you're doing.
Yeah, well, by the time, you're warming up and you're touching, well, by then, you would know, according to the reaction of your partner, if, he really wants you to continue.
Well, let's say you're stimulating the vagina, and you are interested in anal penetration. It may take you a day, a week, a month, a year, depending on the person. But you're going to eventually get through with it if done properly. I have coached couples where the wife was totally against it. And eventually the wife would ask for it. Not penetration, but playing with the anal passage. Playing with the anus. They ask for it. And eventually it leads to penetration. But you have to be patient.
Patience is virtue, as they say.
Yes, it is a virtue. And you have to be very patient. Even when you're doing your penetration, you can't go and penetrate someone in that area with a penis that is 4 inches in circumference when you can't even get your finger in. That's mission impossible.
Yeah.
All you have to do is use your sense, think sensibly. Common sense is something you apply to situations like that.
Anyway, folks, taking your time, it's now 22 minutes before 10 o'clock. You are on the inside of Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM with the guru of sex education, the only one in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj. And tell you what we are going to do is take a break and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.
You're listening to Power 102. Start your weekends with Sir Charles and Calypso Classics. Saturday mornings, 7 to 9 a.m. Calypso Classics.
Calypso, Calypso.
Enjoy classics from all the greats of Calypso: Sparrow, Stalin, Kitchener, Rodder, Shadow, Calypso Rose, and many more Calypso classics with Sir Charles. Calypso greats, Saturday mornings, 7 to 9 a.m. and only on Power 102. The power of Calypso.
I thought you wasn't hearing it.
Yes, you have just a few more days to visit Babinga Expo, located at the White Plant opposite Network gas station, Shoguners. Massive sale now on. Get up to 80% off. Spend $1,000 or more on Mint or credit card for a chance to spin to win up to $500 instantly. There's something for everyone. We cater for the entire family. Ready-made garments, handicraft, footwear, jewelry, furniture, religious items, and much more available all under one roof. Don't miss out on this opportunity to visit the best of the best. Babinga Expo, now closing on July 16th, located at the White Plant opposite Network gas station, Shoguners. Massive sale now on 11 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Trinidad and Tobago, we're ready, standing united and moving forward as one. We're one people, one nation, and all in this together.
We are all in this together.
Let's do this with Cheryl Wilson on Power 102, empowering you.
Your car is for you to enjoy, and many victims of car theft feel helpless at that dreadful moment, not knowing if their car will ever be recovered. Don't let this happen to you. Get car safe from Air Support Tactical Security. They maintain a 100% recovery rate using their military trained response teams and advanced online tracking solution. Call Air Support today at 225-8725 or visit them on Facebook at Air Support GPS. Air Support GPS for peace of mind.
All inclusive Saturdays on Power 102 FM.
Yo, this is Marshall Montana on Power 102 FM.
With the best music and personalities to power your day. All day on a Saturday. Sir Charles, Chris, DJ Maggie, Gaylan, and the ultimate DJ Shane.
This is Capri, and you're listening to Power 102.
All inclusive Saturdays on Power 102 FM. The power of music. All-inclusive Saturdays from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. all day on a Saturday on Power 102. Empowering you.
By public demand, Barbinger Expo's now closing on July 16. Yes, you have just a few more days to visit
I never see a place just close every week. So.
gas station Shipowner. Massive sale now on.
And they already final there.
Spend $1,000 or more on
Every week is the final
Every week
week.
is the final week.
to win up to $500 instantly. We cater for the
I feel everybody's idiot, yeah?
This opportunity to visit the best of the best. Barbinger Expo now closing on July 16. Located at the white tent opposite Medford gas station Shipowner. 11 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Sexplosion is on Power 102, and now on new days and at new times. The country's most informative sex education program, Sexplosion, is on every Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. and Fridays from 9 p.m. to midnight with Dr. Raj, the guru of sex in the Caribbean.
A lot of times we think that sex is totally below the waist. It is not below the waist. It starts in the brain. Your largest sex organ that you possess is your brain.
Tune in for discussion on all sexual matters. Sexplosion on Power 102, empowering you.
Well, I can tell you that more now than ever, we are simply putting the fun back into sex education once again, right here on Power 102 FM, with the only guru of sex education in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Image, the Adult Therapy Center of St. Augustine. And don't forget, our lines are open for those of you who would love to interact with him via the telephone. Feel free at 2228255, also at 6128255. Now, for those of you who are sending in WhatsApp to his private mobile, you can also do that on 740-1961. You can also send in your messages on our website at Power 102 FM.
And yes, 740-1961 is my personal number.
Yeah.
You can send me messages there. Nobody responds but me. For those who want to get in contact concerning anything.
Especially who want to get in touch with you with the massage.
Oh, yes,
Because
yes,
that's
definitely.
a very interesting career, as a matter of fact.
Definitely. And my cousin says, let's see what he says. Good night, cuz. How are you doing? I was wondering if you can make today's topic about food and its effect on sex affecting both men and women, and the best way to keep your sex drive into your 70s. This was a small discussion that went on in my cab last night after your program ended. Thanks again, love always. I will incorporate that in tonight's program because I know he did send that to me, I think this morning, so that's why I asked him to resend it tonight. I will incorporate it later on. But I'll tell you something with sex therapy. Sometimes you're engaging in sex therapy with someone and you end up doing things to them or with them. I don't like to say to them because you're not really doing things to them. That they themselves don't even realize that, hey, I like this, you know. It's afterwards when you're analyzing what went on, because sometimes you have to sit down and have a chat with them and ask them what are the things that stimulated you, what are the things you like best that was being done, and they start telling you, well, you know, I never knew that would have felt that way. Or my partner tried it before and it felt kind of funny, it felt different, it was ticklish, it wasn't done right, or it hurt too much. So when you incorporate it in the therapy part of it, and you get the person to relax and understand that, hey, this is a pleasurable act if done correctly. If you take your time to have it done, they give into it. And the partner benefits from it because the partner end up getting something that they've always wanted and never knew that they were going to get it.
The only problem with that is that sometimes when you get into that kind of mood, your partner gets so excited that he run past the horse.
Yes, sometimes that will happen, because you're getting the unexpected.
Mm-hmm. You get all fizzled up.
Yeah, the anxiety steps in and you lose the erection or ejaculate or something like that, and it's like...
You move to step 3 before going to step 2.
Adriana, how are you? So, you must do things in a manner that is not about you. Anytime you make it about you,
you're in trouble.
You do things wrongly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Once you make it about the person and you personalize it for them and you get them to understand that, hey, I am here to make you feel good. I am here to do what it takes for you to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Then the person appreciates whatever you're doing.
Oh yeah.
Then the person comes to the realization that this person not here to take advantage of me, and I could let loose.
Yes, but you as the individual who is the partner, it gives you a sense of satisfaction to know that you're seeing that you're pleasing your partner and your partner is being satisfied.
I think anytime that you're making love to someone, anytime, even with sex therapy, once you're in that position that you are, although it's a job, although it's your qualification, although it's whatever you're doing there, it's what you're supposed to do, you must make it pleasurable for the person.
That's the underlying.
You take it to a level where it becomes pleasurable to the individual. So even if it is a one and only shot at doing this, it leaves an impact on the person's mind. That, hey, this was done by this particular individual, and it brings a smile to their face. It brings a certain amount of joy, happiness.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about, so making people happy.
So anytime they think back about what they did with you, a smile will come to their faces.
Yeah. And they will reminisce about it. There are times you make love to someone and they may not have the opportunity to do it again with you for whatever reason. There are always reasons for those things to happen. And that person will always measure things by what you have done.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a fact.
They measure things by what you have done, and they no matter who they go with or whatever they do after that, it's like, Junior did this, and this person I do it that way, where I really miss Junior.
Even before you start, as a matter of fact.
They judge it by that.
Yeah.
Remember, I don't know if you were listening to last night's program, where I was mentioning to the audience about how a woman's minds operate. A woman's mind operates in such a way that she's putting you through the test all the time, even with things that are sexual. And although you've been taught or been told not to compare things, the comparison still comes in there. Because once the woman has achieved that level of satisfaction or that level of joy from the sexual act, she has something by which to measure sex now. And she's always looking for that act that is going to take she to that point where she felt that sense of joy, happiness, whatever word you want to use, euphoria, whatever word you want to use.
And that is where you as a partner
comes in. But it doesn't happen every time you make love,
But that is the challenge for you as the...
There are times you will make love to your partner and you will not reach that euphoria. You'll reach halfway there. But she, knowing that you could take her there, she's satisfied with what she gets. There, the fact that she knows that you are the one who could take her to that point. A simple thing as sexting or chatting on the phone with somebody who you have connected with at that level. The kind of things that you could get that person to do. The way that person could feel by simply texting something is mind-blowing, far less for the physical act. When you get into the physical part, that is totally different, because it's one thing to text something to a person, or they have a discussion about something sexual with a person.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize we had so much persons on Instagram.
Oh.
Wow. So you are limiting yourself into thinking that this is what needs to be done and this is how I'm going to do it.
Uh-huh.
And this woman there, or this person there, your partner there, the man too, has one idea about sex and one idea about how things should be. And you have taken them into a different realm. You have given them that satisfaction in a different way. That's what they're reaching out for now. Sex is addictive. Then. Very, very addictive. Like drugs, sex is sweet. Sex takes your brain to a different level.
Mm-hmm.
Sex causes you to release chemicals in your brain that makes you feel like nothing else could make you feel. And you know, once you are attuned to your partner, you like your partner, in love with the person, this is the person you consider to be the ideal person for you, you go all the way. You let your guard down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you go into it 100%.
So once the chemistry is right, once you are giving of yourself to the person, and you're doing all the right things, the sex becomes greater. Not only for you, but for the person.
Yeah.
So I was telling you about when you're sexting something, and you're instructing something or talking about something by text, and you get to talk to that person face to face about that very same thing, it multiplies whatever you're doing 10 times. Because of the interaction and the chemistry. And just as you were saying about the person getting flustered and whatnot, you have to control that because you could go overboard.
Oh, so you have to pace yourself basically.
You're pacing yourself based on your ability.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because let's face it, we all have our fantasies, we all have things that we like to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
We all have deep, dark secrets when it comes to sex.
I think
everybody has that.
Everybody has that.
Whether they admit it or not, everyone has that. But if you find the ideal partner to discuss that with, to do that with, to talk about it, to interact with it, and you have found that person, and you're interacting at that level, it does something to you too, It takes you to a different level mentally. Because now you are getting that full satisfaction that you did not even know you have within you.
Yeah,
you're opening up doors, different doors in your body, your brain.
And to see the person you're interacting with is on the same page with you.
Yeah.
I mean you can't have...
Well, that's what makes it amazing. That's what makes it amazing. So this thing they call sex could be very, very addictive.
Anyway, folks, taking return, it's now 7 minutes before 10 o'clock. You are on the inside of Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM with the guru of sex education, the only one in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center of St. Augustine. Folks, our lines are open for those of you who would love to interact with him via the telephone. Feel free at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. Now, for those of you who would love to send him a private WhatsApp message or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile, 740-1961. You can also send in your messages on our website at Power 102FM. And may I remind you once again that this program may contain material that is not suitable for children. Parental guidance are therefore advised. Yep.
That's why the beauty of oral sex, if done properly, eliminating all the ticklish area in the individual, will cause that person to reach a height sexually.
Okay, but what we are going to do is go back to the lines. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening.
Dr. Raj and Santina, just listening to the conversation way of sex. You like coconut is great, you make it like flour, and you just get in the whole general and the big one because they are but just around and make it learn and be nice to yourself and your family. Please, brother.
Thank you, Moti.
Okay, family, thanks a lot for calling. Don't forget our lines are open at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. Sexplosion on Power 102 FM.
The amazing thing about it, is that you as a lover cannot be selfish. You have to think outside of the box. If you are a selfish individual in the things that you do, the things that you say, and the things that you want, you are not going to achieve that level of satisfaction. You have to put that selfishness aside. You must be attuned to a partner, that lover, that person that you're going to make love to. Things that you may not even think that you're going to do. For example, suck a toe while doing something. You will end up doing it. Caressing a part of the body that you thought you would never do or do it properly.
Yeah.
Touching the breast in a particular way. Tweaking the nipples. Or the person tweaking your nipples. Some things that you will think that you would not allow a person to do.
In that position.
At that time, you're allowing the person to do it because you want that. It's a sexual high. That addiction, like anything else, when you addicted to any substance, you want that high all the time. That's why you keep buying more and more of the cocaine and the marijuana and whatever to get that. It's the same thing with sex. You want to get it, and you want to get it with that particular individual.
But that's a nice addiction to get into.
Of course, provided you are the person to carry you there.
Yeah, you don't need more.
Let's say you have the addiction and nobody to carry you there. What are you going to do?
You're in serious trouble. You have to seek and feel out now. You might be doing that for maybe a couple of years or so, but eventually, you would get somebody, you would get a match.
But don't you think some persons
because
they're fed up trying to seek out? They give up very easily.
Some people give up. But then again, when you give up, when you least expect it, it hits you. And then they say, look at that, I was trying all the time. I wasn't successful in what I was trying to get. And look, I let my guard down, and look what happened.
There's an old Japanese saying, be careful what you wish for, you may get it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'll tell you something about sexual wishes. Once you are creating that aura, once your mindset is around that, you have to be very careful what you wish for.
You might get.
I assure you just get it, because it happens to me all the time.
Oh.
You just have to be careful what you're wishing for, and you have to be careful when you get it, what you do with it. That is where you have to be very careful. Because sometimes you get what you wish for and you don't handle it the right way. Sometimes you get what you wish for and it's too much for you to handle. Sometimes you get what you wish for and you just don't know what to do with it.
That could be embarrassing.
We have many wishes as a human being. But I've always found, from a teenager to my adult life, that whatever I wish for sexually, I get it.
And you do
more so now than in the past, because I think the more mature I become, the more I dwell into the world of sex. It's like you're creating that aura around you.
Yeah.
You're creating that atmosphere. You're creating that attraction to all the things that are going to be that is going to be satisfying you, your wants and your needs. Because in sex you have wants and you have needs. Your sexual needs is far different from your sexual wants. Because the wants, the needs are the things that you need to propel you and to keep you at a certain level. The wants are just things that you desire. You want that and you get it and you're over with that. That is not an important factor.
But the needs are important.
The needs are very important. And how many of us can differentiate between our sexual needs and our sexual wants? Because if you ask the average person, they'll tell you, I want that. She looks sexy. I want to have sex with her. I would like to have her as a lover. But is it someone you need? Or is it something you need? And you might be bypassing the need. Because the person next to her, who may not be attractive to you, may be able to give you your needs.
Right. Yeah.
And that's where you get tied up.
That's what it all boils down to, is judging the book by its cover.
Yes, because again, attraction, desire and wants come from visual attraction. Needs come from within. And you may not even desire the individual, but they could provide the needs that you want. And as I tell you, it happens to me a lot of time. Because when I check back, when I rock back and I say, okay, what is the purpose of this person? Because I have to analyze things. And I start analyzing it deeply. And I realize what this person is bringing to the table. It's a need that I have that must be fulfilled. But the one that I want is not the person.
Yeah.
It will be somebody totally different. See how technical this could be when you reach that level.
Yeah.
Nobody reach a level like I have reached.
Yeah, that's
Sometimes you have to kick yourself in your butt, you know.
I don't think
According to a friend of mine, she said, let me do the kicking. Because she knows about it only too well. Let's take a break, please.
Anyhow, folks, taking your time, it's now 10 o'clock in Trinidad and Tobago. Sexplosion on Power, the 2.1 FM. And for those of you who are joining us for the very first time, and just to remind you, Sexplosion is featured on Power on the 2.1 FM on a Thursday from 7 until 9 o'clock, and then back here on Friday evenings between 9 and 12 with the guru of sex education, the only one in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj. Well, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.
I just shut it up because I realized the tune was finished.
You're listening to Power 102. Start your weekends with Sir Charles and Calypso Classics. Saturday mornings, 7 to 9 a.m.
Where you find this on this different, eh?
But you had something there?
No, this is a different blend.
All the rights of Calypso, Sparrow, Stalin, Kitchener, Roger, Shadow, Calypso Rose, and many more Calypso Classics with Sir Charles.
Oh yeah, let's have a good time.
All the Calypso rates, Saturday mornings, 7 to 9 a.m. and only on Power 102. The power of Calypso.
By public demand, Babinga Expos now closing on July 16. Yes, you have just a few more days to visit Babinga Expos, located at the White Plant opposite Medford gas station, Showoners. Massive sale now on. Get up to 80% off. Spend $1,000 or more on wings or credit card for a chance to spin.
With Cheryl Wilson on Power 102, empowering you. All inclusive Saturdays on Power 102 FM.
Yo, this is Marshall Montana on Power 102 FM.
With the best music and personalities to power your day. All day on a Saturday. Sir Charles, Chris, DJ Maggie, Gayland, and the ultimate DJ Shane.
This is Capri, and you're listening to Power 102.
All inclusive Saturdays on Power 102 FM. The power of music. All inclusive Saturdays from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. all day on a Saturday on Power 102. Empowering you. Sexplosion is on Power 102 and now on new days and at new times. The country's most informative sex education program, Sexplosion, is on every Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. and Fridays from 9 p.m. to midnight with Dr. Raj, the guru of sex in the Caribbean.
A lot of times we think that sex is totally below the waist. It is not below the waist. It starts in the brain. The largest sex organ that you possess is your brain.
Tune in for discussion on all sexual matters. Sexplosion on Power 102. Empowering you.
Well, taking return is now 5 minutes after 10 o'clock inside Sexplosion on Power 2.1 FM with the guru of sex education, the only one in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center in St. Augustine. Folks, don't forget our lines are open for those of you who would love to interact with and via the telephone. Feel free at 222-8255. Also at 612-8255. If you do decide that you want to send him a private WhatsApp or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile 7401961. You're listening to a program that's informative, educational, and of course entertaining exclusively on Power 102 FM.
So, my cousin asked a question, which was a discussion in his cab, about what are the foods one should be eating to maintain a healthy life, well, of course, if you have a healthy life, you're going to have a healthy sex life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, one of the things you have to pay attention to is what is your present status, health status. If you are diabetic, hypertensive and whatnot, there are certain foods you stay away from. If you don't have hypertension, diabetes, high cholesterol and those things, you have to be selective in the type of foods that you eat. Processed foods are no-no.
Mm-hmm.
Alcohol is a no-no. Cigarettes are a no-no. Foods that are high in saturated fats are a no-no. You have to be careful about these foods because what it's going to do, it's eventually going to cause you problems with your circulation.
Mm-hmm.
There are going to be too much fat in your system. A lot of times persons don't even think about this, but as your cholesterol level goes up, your testosterone level is suppressed.
Okay.
And if your testosterone level is suppressing, and you're also losing a percentage of your testosterone every year, what's going to happen to you? Failure.
Yeah.
If you as a person want to have a healthy sexual life into your 70s, these are the things that you must do. I'm not saying don't drink alcohol, but everything in moderation. You can't be smoking cigarette which will harden your arteries, which will cause you circulatory problems, and expect that you're going to have a healthy sex life into your 70s. Now, there's always exception to the rules, but they're few and far between.
Yeah.
You have to be cognizant of yourself, understand yourself, what is working for you and what will not work for you. The same alcohol, instead of consuming hard alcohol, a glass of wine may be fine. If you watch, for example, what was consumed during an orgy, protein is also important. The source of protein is important. One thing I'm going to tell people this, and I want them to take this to heart and do the research. This thing they call soya bean, stay away from it.
Oh.
Stay away from it. It is not good for male.
And a lot of people use it.
Tofu, this thing they call tofu.
Yeah.
Stay away from that. It's not good for your sex life. There are certain foods that will fuel your sex life, and there are certain foods that are going to kill your sex life. Stay away from those foods that are going to kill your sex life. So you want food that are going to energize you, that is going to cause good circulation, that's going to help you to maintain your testosterone level in males. For example, things like watermelon, celery, asparagus, avocados, almond nuts, watermelon, salmon fish, oysters. Those are the things that are going to keep your testosterone level at maximum, providing that you have good testosterone level. If you don't, it's not going to build testosterone, because foods cannot build testosterone. Testosterone is produced by the testicles. Your supplements are also very important. As a man ages, one of the things that we have found in sexology and the treatment and sexual science is that as a man ages, his physical activity will drain certain nutrients from his body. So could you imagine your physical activity? Let's say, for example, you go to the gym, you work out, you do physical labor, you also have your work to do during the day or evening or whatever, and you're having sex. The vitamins and minerals that are depleted, you need to replenish that into your system. Excuse me. So sometimes a guy will tell you taking a one-a-day multivitamin. That is not good enough for you, especially if you're having sex often.
Yeah,
and you don't take a vitamin that is going to stimulate you to keep you up. You take a vitamin that your body is going to extract the nutrients from it, and you are going to get the benefits from it. Sometimes you take a vitamin pack. Some people, the packets with about 5 to 8 tablets in it, and they pop all in their mouth. You're wasting your time and wasting your money. All you're going to do is have expensive stool and urine. That's all. If you break that up into segments and use it throughout the day, it works much better.
rather than taking
Yes.
the full dose.
So you supplement your foods, because most of the time we overcook our foods and we cook out the vitamins and minerals out of it. So you supplement your food with those things. Men need zinc. As you get older, you need saw palmetto. You make sure you take those things regardless of how you feel. You need to have your sexual energy. The foods that are good for those things, you make sure you do that also. So when you are done analyzing yourself, eating the proper foods, protein food, like for example, certain types of meat, right? Some persons cannot digest milk anymore. They stay away from dairy products. Some persons could have cheese, but they don't like milk. So you have to know your source of protein. You mix your beans. But again, a lot of times we don't eat salad. We don't like the greens, and we don't like the beets, and we don't like those things. But those things are good for you. The vegetables and the salads and the ground provision that we have, very good for you. Those are things that you should be having. The meat, the nuts and the peas and those things are the things that you should be having.
Anyway, folks, taking our time, it's now 12 minutes after 10 o'clock. Sexplosion on Power 2.1 FM with your host, Dr. Raj of Total Image and Verdant Therapy Center, St. Augustine. Folks, don't forget our lines are open for those of you who would love to interact with him via the telephone. Feel free 222-8255. Also at 612-8255. For those of you sending in WhatsApp messages and text messages on this private mobile, you can also do that all at 740-1961. You can also send in your messages on our messenger, power2fm.com. You're listening to a program that's informative, educational, and of course entertaining, exclusively on Power 102 FM. Yeah.
The worst thing now is the amount of, there's a conference going on right now, and I see that, thank God this conference is going on, because they finally decided to do something about this madman.
I wonder if you're on the same page.
We're on the same page once you say the madman.
Yeah.
Everybody know who he is, the total idiot.
Yeah, I saw, as a matter of fact,
Luke TT, there was something circulated on Luke TT. Yeah.
Oh, you saw it? Yeah.
They finally decided to do something about the stupidness that he is saying. And all this dirty stuff that he have in a bottle and telling you that is to use for this and this is to use for that. You have to be careful about these things. It's the very same thing. I'll tell you something. Anytime you see a product is being over-advertised, stay away from it. And I'll tell you why. When a product is over-advertised, it's because they want to sell you a product that does not do what it says it's supposed to be doing. They want you to get hooked on the advertisement. They spend millions of dollars on the advertisement and a few dollars on the product. When you buy that product, let's say for $300, from that $300, 60% of that goes into the advertising, so they could sell more product. If the person who's selling those products make $1 US on each product, and they're selling 1 million of those products a day, think about the kind of income that they're getting. Think about the income that they're getting. And that's all it is. And look at who is behind the product. I'll give you a good example. For those in the bodybuilding field, the health and fitness field, you ask them what is the number one supplement it have. Especially those of us from the old school. They'll call two names, Hoffman and Weider. Hoffman went out of business because Bob Hoffman died and his business collapsed after that. Weider remained. Weider is still on the market, and you don't see Weider advertising.
Because it's selling.
The product works. They don't need to.
Yeah.
The bodybuilders who use it for years have been using it for years. Those who have switched to, like this week, somebody was asking me what amino acid to use. I say anyone. Anyone is good to use. He called a brand name. I said, brand, you're paying for the name. Anyone that your pocket could reach, it's going to do what you're supposed to do. That's another thing. Men supposed to be using amino acid. It's the building block of your cells. You hear guys say they want to have a good sperm count, but they're using no amino acid. How the hell your cells are developing? So there's certain things that you must utilize. But when you see a product is being over-advertised, and you know the amazing thing? I remember they brought out a product supposedly to help your penis to grow. And the person who is advertising the product has a huge penis. He's in the porn industry. And he said, I've been using this product, and this is how I got my penis big. Well, you know the product came out that year. But he has had a big penis since 1979. But when they pay you enough money, you go say anything, you know.
Well, yes, you are.
The product is no longer on the market because it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But they pay him enough money for him to say that. Marketing. He go ahead and say it. He know it's not true. But the persons who are listening buy into that. And they start to buy the product, and when it doesn't work, they go off the market.
And apart from that, he's getting well paid.
Well, yeah, of course. Endorsement.
Anyway, folks, taking our time, 16 minutes after 10 o'clock, Sexplosion on Power 2.1 FM. May I remind you once again that this program may contain material that is not suitable for children. Parental guidance are therefore advised. Don't forget that the lines are open if you would love to interact with Dr. Raj live in studio. 2228255, also at 6128255.
I just see WP come on,
Hey.
so I'm now feeling happy.
WP, okay.
Yes, I thought she abandoned us tonight.
Yes, matter of fact, I thought so for a while. I haven't
Yeah.
heard that you mentioned those in the show. So.
Yeah, I thought she abandoned me tonight, and I was feeling kind of depressed there.
Yeah, but it's nice to see that she's touching base now.
Well, I know she's on,
She's on.
and that's important.
Well, but of course, I mean, a program without WP is
There's no program.
No, it's a no program with peas. WP.
So you have to be very careful of the supplement you use. There are many things advertised for all kind of things. You know. A person just asked me about a product. I don't know the product, so I'm not going to tell them yes or no. Next thing you know, I tell them yes, it is a good product to use, and the product is total crap.
Yes,
and that's another thing. When person tell me about a product, I usually ask them to explain what it is. What is that product? What it is for?
Yeah, but recently we have been seeing
bombarded, not seen, but bombarded.
Yeah, every little store. I don't want to analyze anybody in particular, but almost every little store that you can go and ask, do you have anything that can boost my sexual? And they will come out with this little package or this little package.
They're selling it in store alone.
No,
right around the corner from here.
Supermarkets.
Forget the supermarket. Right around the corner from here, there's a nice little Chinese shop.
Yeah.
They have it selling.
Yeah.
They have it selling. Everything that you could think of. Because China making things, but Chinese product, you cannot trust it. You cannot trust Chinese product. And that's a fact. Because we have heard many a times that Chinese industry, people have gotten locked up for selling false things.
Yeah, but what makes someone that, okay, let's say you're going to have sex, what makes someone that would go into these small establishments rather than go into an establishment to buy these things? Is it because of price?
Price is one. We never hear the saying,
cheap thing no good.
Cheap thing no good and good thing not cheap.
No, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the young generation, they know about that.
Yeah, because after experiencing these things that you buy on sidewalks, I mean, it must hit you. Well, look.
Well, it works. It works for a little while, because psychologically you're telling yourself, I'm using this product for this particular reason, and it will work, and it does work, but it doesn't really work because it uses your mind.
But
your mind conquers.
Yeah. I mean, I know in my days growing up, fellas used to take Fenzik and feel they're on top of the world.
Of course.
When having sex.
Of course.
And Fenzik. You remember Fenzik, right?
Of course, I do, Junior. I remember because you showed me one recently. You still have Fenzik, you know.
No, this.
You still have.
So,
and you used to buy by the box and keep it because it was a sex pill for you.
And this thing, what we're speaking about, is going back in years in the 1970s.
It has always been like that.
You know, people say, look, take this and...
But for years, men have gone and dig up Pakru. I don't hear nobody talk about Pakru water again.
No.
That died out, you know.
Yeah, that died.
At that time, people used to be heading up to Toko to dig Pakru off a rock, you know.
Yeah, Pakru, yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, you don't hear nothing about Pakru. I have not heard a person mention Pakru in the last 10 to 15 years, you know.
And the other one that is fading out now is Babandi.
Yeah, because you can't get no Babandi tree again.
It is fading.
We don't have that again. People, they kill all the Babandi tree.
Mm-hmm. That's another one that is fading.
They kill all the Babandi tree.
Because I remember growing up, I mean, the minute
you used to drink the Babandi by the gallon.
You know, the minute you hear someone explaining something about going to have sex, the first thing that would come to their minds is, boy, we have to pick up some Babandi, boy.
Yeah. Man has always been searching for an aphrodisiac.
I think one of the reasons for that is that when you're going into a sexual encounter,
you want tip-top performance.
Right, you want to last long.
Well, aphrodisiac don't make you last long. You know. That is a fallacy. You know. That is remember the first call we got tonight when the lady asked about that? Aphrodisiac does not make you last long.
Yeah, but your mind...
Aphrodisiac is for sexual enhancement.
Yeah, but you know, when you're taking these things, your mind plays games with you. So, you go into it with full confidence that you're going to go for hours upon hours. But it doesn't have no really effect on what you're doing.
Psychologically does. Since time immemorial, since man has been on earth, he's been looking for a bush, he's been looking for a shrub, he's been looking for a root, he's been looking for a bark to chew on to go and have sex, you know. Don't feel the caveman wasn't looking for that too, you know. Because it's a psychological thing.
So this goes back...
This goes back since the beginning of time.
But I wonder what those cavemen and them used to...
Ginseng root and thing. How you feeling about ginseng root and all them thing?
Is that a...
How you feel people know about... You think about it. Who was the first man to use that thing to know how it does work? Man experimented!
I've always heard, growing up as well, I've always heard about ginseng.
And what about the antler?
No.
Never heard of the antler?
No.
Ginseng. You never heard of... Did you read in the newspaper today where 2 men were eaten by lions somewhere in Kenya or somewhere?
Yeah, right there.
Do you know why? Because they were going to kill the rhino to get the horn? Because
Yes.
the horn is used for aphrodisiac.
Oh, okay. Oh.
They grind the rhino horn and sell you that. That is very expensive, you know. An ounce of that might be about $10,000, you know. That's more expensive than cocaine, you know.
You kidding me?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the 2 fellas...
Yeah. They're sure if it's 2 or 3.
It's 3.
Yeah.
They get horn.
They get horn. The lion horn them.
Yeah.
But it's a serious thing. Their antler is a serious thing. There are men who have been using their antler. But I'll tell you something, and I hope people pay attention to this. Anything that is soaked in alcohol to extract whatever they need to extract from it, it loses the potency. Alcohol should never be used to extract whatever ingredient you need to extract from a plant, a piece of rock, or whatever. It loses its potency.
Anyway, folks, taking our time 25 minutes after 10 o'clock, Sexplosion live here on Power 102.1 FM with the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj, taking our time, as mentioned, 25 minutes after 10. So we'll take a break and
before we
we'll
take the
be
break,
right back with you.
The office number is 645-4543 or 645-9829. Crystal, I hope you get that.
You're listening to Power 102. Start your weekends with Sir Charles and Calypso Classics. Saturday mornings, 7 to 9 a.m. Calypso Classics. Enjoy classics from all the greats of Calypso: Sparrow, Stalin, Kitchener, Rodder, Shadow, Calypso Rose, and many more Calypso classics with Sir Charles. All the Calypso greats, Saturday mornings, 7 to 9 a.m. and only on Power 102. The power of Calypso.
By public demand, Babinga Expo's now closing on July 16. Yes, you have just a few more days to visit Babinga Expo, located at the White Plant opposite Medford gas station, Shipwarners. Massive sale now on. Get up to
going back where it is.
spend $1,000.
You got any finish here?
Yeah, cooking, not cooking, but yeah, that restaurant tonight.
It's far from here then?
No, right on the street from here. You remember we
So you don't have to come out the
compound? No.
But the way things going these days here, right?
I know.
Now closing on July 16th, located at the White Plant opposite Medford gas station, Shipwarners. Massive sale now on 11 a.m.
But
to
it's
9
getting right
p.m.
in. It's coming up.
Trinidad and Tobago, we're ready, standing united and moving forward as one.
Come back home soon. Long time we could have brought out
We're one people, one nation, and all in this
Now
together.
before, as soon as they hit the street, you're looking up and down.
Let's do this with Cheryl Wilson on
Don't look up and down, eh?
Empowering you.
Going to work, I don't do the same thing.
Yeah,
On Power 102 FM. With the best music and personalities to power your day, all day on a Saturday. Sir Charles, Chris, DJ Maggie, Gaylan, and the ultimate DJ Shane.
This is Capri, and you're listening to Power 102.
All inclusive Saturdays on Power 102 FM. The power of music. All inclusive Saturdays from 6
Gilbert,
a.m. to 10 p.m. all day on a Saturday.
Same thing,
on
Is that
Power
good, eh?
102. Empowering you. Sexplosion is on Power 102 and now on new days and at new times. The country's most informative sex education program, Sexplosion, is on every Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. and Fridays from 9 p.m. to midnight with Dr. Raj, the guru of sex in the Caribbean.
A lot of times we think that sex is totally below the waist. It is not below the waist. It starts in the brain. Your largest sex organ that you possess is your brain.
Tune in for discussion on all sexual matters. Sexplosion on Power 102. Empowering you.
And we do welcome you back to Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM with your host, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center at St. Augustine. Folks, don't forget our lines are open and he are taking your calls at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. Nobody does better what we do best when it comes to sex education. Thursday and Friday evenings right here on Power 102 FM. Yeah.
So getting back to what is needed as a man or a woman, as you age, you have to change your diet also. You know? And as you age, exercise is also important. So it's not only what you eat. Sometimes for years you've been eating badly and you need to detoxify yourself. You need to take that out of your system.
That's me.
Yeah.
I do not know exercise at all. No.
But it is important to do that.
I know they keep telling me that, doctor.
You have to be very careful with that.
Just,
my neighbor who died on Sunday night, but fortunately he died in another country, so the body isn't in Trinidad yet. So the wait going long. Healthy guy, always walking about, eating the right things, and massive heart attack. You don't know when your number is going to call. You can't stop your death, you know. But we're not talking about death. We're talking about having an enjoyable life. We're talking about having a good sex life. We're talking about being able to perform when you need to perform. As you age, you're not going to be having sex every day. It will slow down. Your process is going to slow down. Your refractory period is going to slow down. Your stimulation, it's going to take a lot more stimulation to get there. So you take it in moderation and you do a good quality session as opposed to quantity session.
Yeah.
That's what you need to look at.
So instead of doing 3 or 4, you do one good one.
Yeah. You put on a good walk. And you rock back.
And that will be memorable.
And you make sure you take care of your needs. So a man in his 70s and a man in his 50s, you have to know how to pace yourself.
Yeah.
Although there are some men in their 70s who could maybe go 5 times for the week. But it depends on, and I have heard persons say, well, my grandfather used to do so and so and so. You are not your grandfather.
Yeah, there is basic on your genes.
You are not your grandfather.
Yeah.
You may not have, remember your grandfather era is much different from your era.
Yeah, but
for example, my grandfather, who expired in 76, grew up in the early 1900s. So the foods and the things that they did was much different.
Well, this is what I was about to mention to you. You know, in those days growing up, eating dashing and potato from the ground and
you not only ground food, but the food did not have chemicals.
No, compared to what they have available now.
Correct. So our grandchildren may be saying the same thing, but they will only have processed foods. They won't have real food.
Yeah.
Our grandchildren will not know certain things that we know in. And it's a frightening thing.
Yeah.
Half the foods that we know now in abundance will not exist in the next 50 years.
Yeah, I could see.
It will not exist.
I could see that.
I'm telling you.
When you're thinking in terms of what we grew up on to what we are into now and see that vast difference. I mean,
there are certain foods that will become poisonous to the human being for human consumption. There are things that we take for granted today that they will not be able to enjoy later on.
Yeah, I agree 100% on. Yeah.
So, if they make the comparison of their life then, last night I talked about sterility in young men, the amount of men who are sterile, and that is only going to increase. It's not going to go down, it's going to go up. Exposure to radiation, there'll be more gadgets coming on that you feel you must have around your waist, in your pocket, around your scrotum, electromagnetic energy. What are you doing to counteract that?
Nothing.
Well, that's what I'm asking. What are you doing to counteract that?
As a matter of fact, what you're saying there, people are not even thinking along those lines of counteracting. They just want to go with the flow.
Correct.
That's the thing that everybody.
And that is correct. Because it's the in thing to do.
And that will destroy, I mean, I hate to put it in this way, but that will destroy most of the population.
It will. Eventually it will.
So while technology is a beautiful thing to experience, it could be very damaging in the future as well.
We don't know the effects of it yet. So when they ask the question about what are the foods to eat, what are the things you should be consuming, you have to be careful about natural foods versus what is processed today. The things that are organic and the things that are not. The things that you really should be consuming and the things that you should not be consuming. You know, according to Christianity, mankind on earth about less than 5,000 years. Right? Islam and Christianity will tell you that. Hindus will tell you much different. We'll tell you millennia and millennia and millennia. And for millennia upon millennia upon millennia, Hindus have been using cow milk. You know now they tell you cow milk are good to use?
Well, growing up, which was recently.
But for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of years we've been using cow milk.
But growing up, that is what I grew up on. And I'll tell you too, I could describe the lady. She used to come, a little Indian lady, very fine, with a little turban on her head, with a silver
thing, yeah.
And with the little. We grew up on that. Cow milk, oh yeah, we grew. I mean.
The cultural, they call that a cultural.
And now they tell,
no, the cultural, the thing to take out the milk.
Yeah. Yes, and she come and grandmother come out on the bandstand, we bring the little mug and she.
Yeah.
I remember those days well.
But I'm telling you, but now they're telling you cow milk is not good for human consumption.
No, sir.
So I just wonder where they just get them thinking. When I hear them saying that, and they'll tell you this research and that research, but if I, let's say I have a goat farm, and I producing goat milk, I will call up a scientist and say, come on, here's $10,000. Do a research and tell them cow milk is good now. And tell them they should be drinking goat milk. And that's what they do.
Yeah.
It's all jockeying for money.
Money talks.
So a scientist will come, somebody will come on the TV now, a man who used to look at on television and used to like him because he was a good actor, and now he's telling you about this wonder pill.
Uh-huh.
Yeah?
No, I think that's someone else.
No, you're thinking about the right person. He tells you about this wonder pill that you should be using that will cure all ailment. You use this one little pill and it cures everything. Total crap. Total crap. He maybe never used that pill in his life.
No.
He ain't using that. Because he's being paid to say this is the best thing since sliced bread.
And then again, what it all comes down to, as you always say, marketing.
Well, that's what you're using the person for.
And that might be a cheaper price, but the money they spend in marketing is more than what?
Plenty more. Plenty more. 10 times the yeah. To make them pill and think it costing you nothing. It ain't costing you nothing. The bottle costs more than the pill. The bottle that they put the pill in costs more than making the pill, the capsule. I'm telling you, I'm not asking you.
No, dude. I mean, you travel around.
But you have to look at the background of these things also, eh? And that's something you have to look at. Look at who is behind it and what institutions are behind it. Some of these institutions are cults.
Yeah.
Be careful. It's how they finance their cults also.
I want to fly back to something you said a couple of minutes ago, and the same thing with the cow milk. Where recently, and this was a couple of months ago, they were telling you, and on foreign, and I can tell you it's CNN, where they're telling you that coconut oil is not good to use. I don't know if you recall seeing that story on the news. And whereas I remember growing up, as soon as you take a shower, my grandmother used to just bathe me down in coconut oil.
Yeah, rub it on the skin.
Yeah, and I mean...
But there's always someone who's paying someone to talk a product bad.
Because they have something.
Because they have an alternative that they want you to buy.
Yeah.
Now somebody's going to take the person who wants that on the news, because they want it to be news, is going to take that extract from the news and tell you, see, CNN says this, so you should be using that.
Yeah.
Don't use this product because CNN says it's not good. We have a product that you should be using. It's all about marketing.
Yeah.
It's all about trying to sell you a product. Now, in business, the less something costs and the more you can sell it for means greater profits. Eh?
Right, yeah.
And what does a business want? Maximum profits.
Yeah.
Especially those big companies. They want maximum profit.
And when things are really settled and you see the profits that these people make, I mean, it's
astronomical.
It's amazing, you know?
Astronomical. When you think about the millions that they make in a month.
You as an individual looking at it from a one-on-one basis, but you're not looking at the volume.
And you ever stop to wonder why it is so many products are being pushed in Trinidad? Trinidad has the most gullible society for advertising. You show a Trinidadian something advertised, because you see we believe in TV. Eh?
Oh yeah.
Trinidadians believe in television. They believe what they see on TV is real. We have always been like that. And we have the most gullible nation when it comes to dumping stuff. And the rest of the world knows that.
They throw everything on us.
The rest of the world knows that. Anytime you want an inferior product to sell, or you have a product that you can't sell nowhere else in the world, send it to Trinidad. It will sell. There's a product called Vigarex. That product was banned. They sent it to Trinidad.
And it's selling.
Of course it's selling. Why it wouldn't sell? It's Trinidad.
Yes, but you see, in a case like that, what happens? Since it was banned there, it's obvious the price will drop.
No, it's obvious they cannot sell it.
No, the price will drop when they send it here. So it's a wider profit that they're making.
Well, they cannot sell it, they have to dump it. They have to destroy the product.
Well, they're dumping it here.
Well, that's what I said. Trinidad is a dumping ground. Inferior parts for motor car. Trinidad have that. People, Trinidad, there's some guys who have parts place and we call them genuine imitation, you know, an original substitute, you know. And they're born to rob, you know. They sell you everything that is not real, you know. Everything that is not real is being sold here. You have to be very careful. And right now there's a program going on by the Ministry of Agriculture.
Yeah.
With what they call fake food. Keep reading on it, and you'll see the amount of things that are dumped here in this country is unbelievable. Because we are a gullible society and we have the disposable income to buy all this crap.
Anyway, folks, taking the time, it's now 19 minutes before 11 o'clock. Sexplosion on Power 2.1 FM, taking sex education where it has never been before, with your host, Dr. Raj our total image and the adult therapy center it's in Augusta. And folks, there he treats all sexual dysfunctions. And for those of you who would love to interact with him via the telephone, feel free, our lines are open. You have something that is sexual bothering you, well, give him a call at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. This program may contain material that is not suitable for children. Parental guidance and therefore advised. Yeah.
So you have to understand that not everything you see advertised and not everything that person tell you is good, is really good for you.
But then what it comes down to, as you rightfully mentioned, these people market these items so fabulous.
Of course. They make you believe in the product.
Like for instance, even though it don't really think, like I saw a commercial where they were advertising a car wash away and they put a woman in a bikini to stand up in. I mean, you passing, even though you don't want to.
Boy, you pulling in there to get a car wash, boy.
Even though
you want it to rub up your breast something on that windshield.
You don't want a car.
You want that.
You know it, and then again, what it boils down to is marketing. Marketing. You put a woman in front of a car wash in a bikini.
Well, remember there was a controversy in Trinidad, I think in Arima, where people wasn't getting water, but there was a car wash with some girls in bikini doing car wash and them wasting water. They get water to waste, and people suffering for water to bathe or drink home, you know.
They went to I could recall that.
This is what society is about.
This is what, you know, I mean, it's in...
We live in a jokey place.
No, you see, the whole thing about it is how you carry, how you approach your business to get a profit off it. Because no one open a business to loss.
Yeah, but you should have a social conscience.
But family...
You should have that as a business person. You should have a social conscience.
Yeah, but some of us don't have. You know, some of us don't have that. Some of us
well, exactly. But what I'm saying is that you should not be unscrupulous.
No. Because
you must conduct yourself in a way that nobody must point a finger at you and say, well, you are a smart man or a crook.
Yeah, because on the flip side of the coin, you have the people who you give a very good service to, that will go out and tell a few people, hey, you know, I went to the adult therapy center and boy, the service was fantastic.
Well, that is the best form of advertising. We hardly ever advertise on newspaper and thing anymore, you know. It's word of mouth.
And it's how you treat each and every person that come into your
well,
establishment.
not only that, the success that they get.
Well, because
once you do the right thing and you put no black substance in a bottle and shake it up and tell you this is for erection, come and buy this thing, and they can't even tell you what the product is inside it. This black body looking dirty water kind of stuff, and telling you have to drink that.
And you know, everybody's trying to make a penny and a thing out of this thing. And as you know, the sex revolution have come on stream since you have started 20, 30 years ago.
In
But
Trinidad,
now,
yes?
Yeah, in Trinidad, yeah. But now you can see where the gap have closed.
Of course.
To when you
Of
first
course.
started off.
That question was asked of me 2 nights ago.
Ah,
I have seen the closure of the gap. And you're right.
yeah.
But again, you must have a social conscience.
Yeah. Yeah, the
That's why I
mind
tell
is,
people when I talk about things on this program, I could defend everything that I say. I know when I tell you about certain products and certain things, what are the effects and what are. For example, you could go and buy a dildo for $400. But I can guarantee it that when you put that dildo in your vagina, that thing is going to burn so badly, you'll never want to put anything in your vagina again. Because a cheap dildo will come from China. And those Chinese products, the latex that they use disintegrates. And when that latex is disintegrated, it lets out an oil. And that oil gets into your skin and irritates it. Even if you're using a condom on it, it burns through the condom. It's like an acidic oil.
And you know, we train begonias. You know, we like cheap things. Because if
No, we feel we're getting a bargain. But the bargain is not that bargain, because the bargain is going to put you in the hospital, or the bargain is going to cause you to get an rash, or the bargain is going to cause you to get an irritation.
Yeah, I remember seeing those hard plastic long when.
Well, you have to be careful.
Yeah.
Those products, you boil it in hot water or whatever, it's not going to work properly.
And there's a scent that comes out.
Oh,
of
yeah,
that rubber.
God,
It's a funny.
Yeah.
It's a funny scent that comes out.
Yeah. And again, it has to do with making things cheap. So you have a lot of cheap product on the market. You have a lot of fly-by-night fellas selling things on the papers and whatnot. They go deliver to you and all them kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work.
And the thing about it is.
But it's not good for you.
Yeah, but then the thing about it is that when you buy these things from people who advertise on the dailies, after you buy it, you can't find them again to come.
Find them for what?
They
A
go
man
on.
tell me he meets somebody in San Fernando. He found them on the papers, and the person said he'll meet them in San Fernando in some food court, and he'll bring the product and show him and what that. And he said this thing guarantee. Well, of course, it is to grow his penis, and he tell him all what to do. The guy bought the product, and he tell him how much he have to buy, and so he buy all one time. Couple of months after, he calling me to ask me if I know about the product and what the product does do and how it does work. I said, who you buy it from? He said, well, a guy I find on the papers, he called some name. I said, so why you call him ask? He said, well, the fella number you working again. I said, you realize you get rip-off?
More than that,
I said, you could take all them tablets and pour it down the toilet. It might even flush.
You know, I'm glad you mentioned that, and I'm glad you brought that up. And just for the benefit of some of our listeners who are under the impression that when you take a pill, that your penis can grow. What is your take on that?
Your penis wouldn't grow by no pill.
But why it is that we are so gullible, especially young men, that
Because we want a shortcut to everything.
Because I mean,
do you know why bodybuilders use steroids? Not because steroids is going to make them a healthy person. They use steroids to get a body fast, to shorten the process of bodybuilding. That's why they use steroids. They're doing themselves a disservice by using steroids. Because bodybuilding is supposed to be the healthiest sports around. But yet still they use a drug.
Yeah, but in a case like that, as you mentioned, as you venture into the bodybuilding section, what effect does it have once you start taking
steroids? It shuts down your natural production of testosterone.
Yeah, but you have to. What happens if you decide, well, look, let's say
it damages your kidney, damages your heart.
Right. Okay. After a show,
your liver.
Look, stopping.
You have to detoxify. There are many things that you have to do. You have to do plenty things. But getting back to the question that you asked, everybody wants a shortcut. They want a shortcut for their personal development. They want a shortcut to grow their penis. They want to rub a cream on their penis and make their penis grow. But how come your hand not growing? The same hand you're using to rub the cream with, how come your fingers not getting bigger?
Yeah, but it just goes to show how gullible we are. Because
You using a nice word, I find it stupid.
Because how could you take a pill and expect your penis to grow 2 or 3 inches more? Which, it's something that a rightful person thinking wouldn't venture into that ground.
But it is how they're thinking. They're thinking that if there's a shortcut for me to develop myself, to grow a part of my body, I'm going to do it. And I want to do that. And I'm not going to do the hard work to develop myself. I'm not going to use the pump every 2 days to cause the development and growth of my penis. I want to take a pill that is going to grow it, which is impossible.
Okay, I'm glad you mentioned, and since we're into the growing part of one's penis, does the pump, is it successful?
It is successful for certain individuals to use the pump. If you're over the age of 40, there are things that you must do in addition to using the pump, because your body is no longer producing growth hormones. It is no longer producing what is needed for the development naturally of your penis. Under the age of 40, and the closer you get to your teenage years, the more development you see taking place. And that's why up to yesterday somebody asked me, what can I use to make my penis bigger? And my answer to the person was, visit the adult therapy center. Not because I want to sell you a product. I'm not going to try to sell you a product. I'm going to tell you the stages that you must go through to do the right thing. Otherwise, I could sell you. I could sell you a pill and tell you this will make your penis grow bigger, and people believe in me because it's Dr. Raj telling them to use it. But I am not going to destroy my name to sell you a product for $500 to make an extra $500. No, I'm not that kind of person. So when I tell somebody visit the clinic, it is because I want to give you the proper advice. And it's up to you whether you want to go forth or not. I'm going to give you the advice, It's up to you to do it.
It's up to you to take the next step.
Yes. I am not telling you have to spend $100, $1,000, or $10,000. I'm not telling you that at all. I am telling you what are the steps necessary for you to achieve what you want to achieve. That's what we do at the adult therapy center. If somebody comes with premature ejaculation, erectile dysfunction, sexual dysfunction, relationship issues, polycystic ovaries, endometriosis, what's wrong with me? Anything that you come with,
you can help.
We give you the advice. I sit down there and give you the advice. I go through everything with you. Endometriosis.
I know you're so good. I know it would have been bothering.
It was bothering me.
Anyway, folks.
But fibroids, anything like that, I sit with you and I give you the advice. I spend the time to tell you what you should do and what you shouldn't do. Even the foods that you should eat and the foods that you shouldn't eat. The things that you should do and the things that you shouldn't do. If sex is painful, I tell you what you should be doing, how to do it and what not. I make sure of that. It's up to you.
Yeah, but it's
entirely up to you. If you can't have a child, you still have a low sperm count, you're not developing enough sperm, I tell you what to do, but I also tell you, you can't be doing this and smoking cigarette and drinking alcohol.
You got to stop the program.
No, I'm not telling you to stop. If I tell you, you cannot be developing your sperm and drinking alcohol and smoking cigarettes, what does that mean? You should make a choice.
Yeah. The choice is
whether you want to, and if you want to have a child bad enough, you're supposed to do the sacrifices that you need to do.
Well, of course, you have to take the advice of the professional.
So I give you the advice, and you take it from here.
Anyway, folks, taking your time, it's now 5 minutes before 11 o'clock. You are listening to Sexplosion with your host, Dr. Raj of Total Imaging, the Adult Therapy Center at St. Augustine. And tell you what we are going to do is take a break, and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.
You're listening to Power 102. Start your weekends with Sir Charles and Calypso Classics. Saturday mornings, 7 to 9 a.m. Calypso Classics.
Calypso.
Real harrowing day today. I'm tired.
Every boy called me today, he said, I tell him family, I can see. He said, good morning. I said, boy, I've been up by family. He said, good morning. I said, I've been up by family.
Tell them ask for candy.
That capacity.
Tell them ask for candy.
Candy.
The power of
Calypso.
By public demand,
I haven't seen him in a while.
He was outside.
Hi Ann, how are you?
He was outside.
the white Plaza Visit Network gas station should warn us. Must
Yeah, because last time I was in the mall, I passed and checked him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was about
credit card for a chance to spin to win up to 500
3 or 4 months back.
Yeah.
something for everyone.
I will tell you.
His beautiful daughter was there.
Yeah, daughter get nice, man.
Get nice? I one beautiful woman, boy.
Nice, yeah.
What?
I know that little girl.
You want me to know she before she born?
Yeah, that I tell you from
Yeah.
that time to now she.
No, but she's one beautiful woman. I just like to chat with her.
Yeah, but she into the religion thing.
Trinidad and Tobago.
All the nice women going into religion.
United and moving forward.
Nothing wrong with that. I just like to look at her. She's
Yeah,
beautiful.
she's nice. I'll tell him.
Where one people
But I'll tell him you don't mind checking before you go out.
I would like him to check me. You know what I mean? See?
Yeah, I'll tell him.
on Power 102.
Everybody find you to look so much alike. Remember, brother.
Saturdays on Power 102
We get some horrors in you all day, man.
with the best
Trying to get rid of the place and they get in trouble.
Were you selling it or?
Well, you want to leave it to somebody, but the more get in trouble, the more money the whole place.
and the ultimate DJ
Because don't forget the record shop and the travel agency. That was the whole record shop, eh? And he cut it in half.
I know.
Rebels, yeah. So he want to give them the record part and keep the travel, but they want the whole thing. They want the whole.
Open Tuesday Saturdays from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. all day on a Saturday on Power
I'll give my call
102.
tomorrow.
Empowering you. Sexplosion is
sometime
on
in
Power
between the football.
102 and now on new days and at new times. The country's most informative sex education program, Sexplosion, is on every Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. and Fridays from 9 p.m. to midnight with Dr. Raj, the guru of sex in the Caribbean.
A lot of times we think that sex is totally below the waist. It is not below the waist. It starts in
Wonder if I still have his number, boy.
organ that you possess is your brain.
Wonder if I still have his number.
Sexplosion on Power 102, empowering you.
I think we might have to send that for me.
I'll get here before.
Well, I can tell you that when it comes to nighttime radio and sex education, we are always one step ahead. You are listening to Sexplosion on Power 2.1 FM with your host, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center of St. Augustine. Our lines are open for those of you who would love to interact with him via the telephone. Feel free at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. If you are sending him a WhatsApp or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile 740-1961. This program may contain material that is not suitable for children. Parental guidance are therefore advised. Yo.
Well, I was hoping people call in and ask some questions now.
Yeah.
Stimulate the mind a little bit.
They have a lot of people, you know, they listen, I interact with, hey, I want to say a very special nighttime greetings to my family and friends out of True Value outside there at Diamond Vale. And I tell you, there's a guy he listens to the program, he sells these pepper mango and things. But a bad for someone. I think my is bad. So I know he's listening. That's my brother who sells out at the True Value there in Diamond Vale. And to the staff, I want to say a very special nighttime greetings to you. They see me and then no interaction.
Well, they know you the man.
No. You know, on the outside, the boy quiet, you know. I like you. Low profile.
Unassuming.
WP still with us, by the way?
WP, I don't know. I haven't. She even sent me a text message today, but I wonder if she vexed, right?
No, so she do send you text messages.
Of course she'd send me text messages.
That's the most important thing for the
When I get a text message from WP, I light up.
Yeah. She done good, eh?
Of course, she has that.
That stinger.
Wow.
Okay.
What a beauty.
But you never showed.
No.
You never showed me WP.
No. No.
So I could base my findings.
No. No.
So I could base my findings.
No.
I know you're a man of good taste. So I wanted to see if your level have grown or if your level have dropped.
Let me tell you something.
I know the answer you get me, boy, oh boy.
I grew up with a cocoa estate. So the basket that I have is cocoa basket. And cocoa basket can't hold no water.
No, I'll tell you something.
You know that cocoa basket?
A cocoa basket?
A big black basket.
Oh, yes.
That you put on your head.
Yeah.
It's about 2 or 3 feet deep. And it's wide like that.
Yeah. No, but I know, especially when you call names, I can see the different expression on your face. You know.
Don't try that. Don't try that. Don't try that. You're still trying. You're fishing.
But one of these days, one of these good days.
You met her already, you know, I think.
Met?
Yeah, I think you met her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. I'm trying to remember if you did.
That's what I like about you. You try.
WP, remind me if you met Junior or not.
I can't recall, but anyhow, one of these days I'll see, because
send me a text message so no one will know who you are.
That expression on your face tells me a lot. I know you for quite many years, So
I wouldn't confess that. You know.
I know the different expressions.
I would not confess that if I was you. You know.
So I know the different.
I would keep that on the wrap. Keep it on the down low, and I think we have a call. We've been asking for calls.
Okay. Hi, hello, and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening. Hello, good evening. Hello. Okay. No. Thought we had one.
Nothing?
No, when you see that husband was you walking or wife was you walking, trying to catch a little question on the thing. I'll show you somebody calling about using these pills over the counter pills that is no worth to your body. And
I see some interesting people who were on earlier.
Yeah.
I'm not going to call any names, but some interesting.
Family here now.
And some interesting sexy ladies.
Sexy lady. Hey, what about my favorite families?
Which one, boy?
The mother and daughter. I think they're from Rio Claro. One always send hi for me. The mother's in love.
Oh! Savitri and Anna.
Savitri and Anna. They're not on with us tonight.
I don't know. I haven't heard from them.
Yeah. I miss them already.
I haven't heard from them. If I did hear from them, I would tell you.
They're from what? Rio Claro or Grande?
Rio Claro?
Rio Claro.
Your area, not my area.
Office,
Ashina Mohammed says, hello everyone.
Well, that includes me.
Oh, you see? She says, hello guys. So she's listening. She's listening.
Yeah. But do you know the name of street in Rio Claro after my family?
I know that.
Right by the post office. Lamyong Lane or Lamyong Avenue.
You say no Lamyong Trace? You say no Lamyong Trace?
Yeah, no Lamyong, Yes. From Rio Claro to Sandy Grande, the Chinese, you know the Chinese people, eh?
She says she living far from there.
Well,
how far you living from Lamyong Trace or Lamyong Street?
That place was named after my
your grandmother?
My grandfather.
Grandfather?
Yeah.
Well, you always talk about your grandmother. I never thought you had a grandfather.
I still have family that lives at Wayne Lamyong.
Wayne?
Yeah.
Where he lives? He don't live in Rio Claro. I thought he lived in Grande.
On maybe the border.
Okay.
Yeah, no, but as far as I understand, no, he's still in Rio Claro. So you see, so our Rio Claro roots too, no? Our roots.
Well, you should go and look. You should go and look for Savitri.
Yeah, but I'll tell them. She and her daughter meet me by the.
We've been invited to go and visit them, you know.
Yeah. Well, then you can.
So during this holiday time, we should go.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Junior missing us. We're always here.
Nice, beautiful. I know, feeling good. I feel I could go for another 6 hours now. Anyway, folks, taking our time 5 minutes after 11 o'clock. Folks, don't forget, our lines are open for those of you who would love to interact with Dr. Raj, your host of Sexplosion. You know, sometimes we sit and something pops up sexual that might be bothering you, and you know, we need to get some answers. Well, I can tell you, this is the forum for it. Sexplosion on Power 2.1 FM on a Wednesday and Friday evenings with Dr. Raj. Now, if you would love to interact with Dr. Raj at this moment, feel free. You can give him a call at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. Now, I know for a fact some of you might be a bit shy and you would want to send him the question that you would have asked. You can also do that on his private mobile, 740-1961. This program may contain material that is not suitable for children. Parental guidance are therefore advised. Yeah.
So WP says she's watching, but she hasn't mentioned if she knows you or she have met you. So I'll let you know in a while.
Yeah, but
and I see Sushala is on, and she's from that area also.
Okay, from the
Rio Claro area.
RC?
Somewhere up on that side.
Yeah. So there are nice people living on.
Ah, so WP says yes, she met you already.
Okay. Can't
So
recall,
she met you once. So I think I can show you her picture now, since you have met her.
Oh. Hey, okay. Yes, the face looks familiar. But that's WP. I want to be...
You can't be anything.
No, I want to
You cannot be anything.
I want to be Inspector Bob.
You cannot be anything.
But she's locked on.
She's locked on.
But this is good. Okay, well, what we are going to do at 7 minutes after 11 o'clock, we're going to go right back to the phones. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening. Hi, good evening. No, the phone wasn't ringing. You're dialing wrong number. You're dialing your girlfriend by mistake.
What is all meat you get amino acid from? All meats you get amino acid from. Meat is all meat. Meat is made up of amino acid. That's why you have to take a supplement. Plants don't have essential amino acid. No, vitamin B12 is a vitamin. Amino acid is not vitamin. Amino acid is amino acid. Amino acid is the structure of animal cells. So if you can't get it from meat, you get it from amino acid supplement. No, I sure you figure it out yet. You might be thinking that the amino acid supplement is made from meat. It is not made from meat. All right, but the essential amino acid you can only get it from that source. Cool.
Okay, family. Thanks a lot for calling.
And Leela says she's from Rio Claro.
Yeah, a lot of Rio Claro. Hey, nice place.
Hey, you have a lot of Rio Claro people.
I have roots in Rio Claro.
I wonder you ask if WP from Rio Claro.
No, she's from Ting.
She's from Ting.
Where she's from, by the way?
I'm not going to tell you that.
No area. I don't even know the name of the house.
Eh?
Just area.
You'll want to go and camp out the woman's house. Central.
Okay, that's a lot. No, I agree. Next thing you know, I'm going like that. Anyway, folks, taking our time 10 minutes after 11 o'clock, you are on the inside of Sexplosion on Power, the 2.1 FM. For those of you who are joining us for the very first time, Sexplosion is a feature program, sex education with your host, Dr. Raj, and a feature here every Thursday and Friday evening. On a Thursday from 7 until 9 o'clock. Then he's back here with us on a Friday evening from 9 until 12. Taking sex education rate has never been before on Power 102 FM. Don't forget our lines are open at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. Yeah.
Vitamins or vitamins comes in many different forms. You can get vitamins from the sun. You can get it from fruits. You can get it from vegetables. So you can get vitamins from many different sources. The problem with that is that because we overcook, overprocess, do the wrong things with our fruit, we don't get the amount that we need most of the time. You see that simple thing they call West Indian cherry? The local cherry. That has more vitamin C than an orange. Plenty more vitamin C than an orange.
Those little...
Yeah, the little cherry.
Yeah, little cherries, yeah.
Minerals comes from different sources. It comes from food, it comes from plants, it comes from animals. It can even come from the earth. So sometimes they tell you when you're cooking certain ground provision or whatnot, you boil it with the skin on.
Okay.
So you don't lose it.
Yeah.
You get certain minerals like potassium and whatnot from bananas, from fruits also. Amino acid. Amino acid, on the other hand, is either created in a lab, extracted from milk, extracted from eggs, or you get it from meat. And that's the best source of amino acid, meat or meat-based amino acid supplements. Then you have the branched chain amino acid. But the essential amino acid, essential meaning that your body don't produce it, you have to get it from an outside source. That is the one that you have to buy and take. So the body needs vitamins, mineral, and amino acid. Long ago when we were growing up, there was something called bone meal tablet. That was calcium.
Yeah.
Made from bone meal. Remember that?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Long ago there was something called desiccated liver.
Right.
You remember that?
I remember the name, yeah.
Right. Those were supplements, those were basic supplements that we used to use. There was something called brewer's yeast. Remember brewer's yeast?
No, that one I'm not familiar with.
Brewer's yeast was essential for bodybuilding. You get your B complex and all those things from that. There are simple things that we used to use, that used to go in the pharmacy and buy. Kretschmer wheat germ. All those things are essential to use. But we don't use it anymore because we look for fancy thing now.
But this is what I was about to ask you. How those things just
no, it's still there.
It's
still there. You could get it.
Yeah.
The only thing you don't get in abundance as we used to get it before is the bone meal tablet. You don't get that in abundance, and you don't get the desiccated liver in abundance.
They just stop.
Well, because people stop buying it. Anything you stop buying, they don't make. Molasses, very good for you.
Molasses?
Molasses is very good for you.
Oh yes, that was.
There was something that they used to make with molasses and something else. Molasses and oil, I think cod liver oil and molasses. There's a mixture like that also. They used to sell it in a bottle. I'm trying to remember the name.
I don't know if I'm correct on this, but I think.
Oh, fish oil and molasses.
I think Tisani Dubo.
No, well, there's a cleanser. There's a blood cleanser, liver cleanser and a blood cleanser.
Oh,
that's a different thing.
That's a different ball game.
That's a different thing altogether. Tisane de Dubois is a cleanser.
A cleanser.
Yeah. You use that to cleanse your system for three bottles. You use 3 bottles and then you can go on to whatever else you need to use. But there were a number of things that you could have used to better yourself. Any bodybuilder long ago will tell you they used to go and buy liver, beef liver, and they'll just drop it on heat, one side for like about 2 or 3 minutes, the other side 2 or 3 minutes, and they're eating that.
Liver?
Blood running out of it and they're eating it. Bodybuilders used to eat that in abundance.
Wow.
And then you buy the desiccated liver in the pharmacy used to sell those things. There was Weeder Formula 7. There was Huffman Green tablet. They used to sell a tablet in a pan. I think 350 tablets in a pan, a green tablet. You take 2 in the morning and 3 in the evening time. But those are the things that we used to use.
You know what is going on?
Yeah.
Not again. No, it's everything in a fancy thing.
Fancy thing. We believe now that it must be something fancy and must have, Dr. Raj, the organic things are good to eat when you're over 50, of course. Good evening, Dr. Raj. How do you the celery juice, you juice it or you cook it in food. You could have celery anyhow, but you could eat it raw. You eat the celery raw. You get the fiber out of it. A lot of foods why you think we're supposed to be eating fruits? Fruits should give you fiber. Anybody who have constipation and whatnot, eat fruits.
Yeah, well, I heard, yeah.
Of course.
The fruits kind of clear the...
Eat fruits.
Clear the bowels.
Prunes.
Prunes is another...
Yeah.
Prunes is another...
You understand? You wouldn't believe young people now know nothing about prunes and they're eating that.
No, they ain't touching that. They're not touching that.
No, they're touching that. And you get prunes. Well, as a matter of fact, there's a new name for prunes, you know. There's a new name. I'm trying to remember the new name for prunes. They don't call it prunes anymore.
But you know, when we were small, we would catch as children. When I say so, growing up, that I remember when we used to buy the prunes, we used to crack the little...
Not
nothing.
They not catch us thing where you can't eat a prune with prunes without eating the nut inside?
The nut, yeah. We used to crack it with that
I used to bite it and cry. Up to now I do that. What do you mean?
You used to get a little sweet.
Up to now I do that.
You still do that?
But they don't call it prunes anymore. They change the name.
Or they give it a nice name?
Yeah, a fancy name for people to buy it.
Yeah. That was...
But I'm telling you, I'm not asking you that.
I could recall growing up, well, you know...
Dates.
We grew up behind the bridge. So when my grandmother used to, you know, after Christmas, she would cut up the prunes right after Christmas and put it...
To soak.
Have a bitter soap.
Of course.
That used to soak for a whole year. Not like nowadays.
They're soaking a month before.
No, a month, yeah. As soon as Christmas...
You put your fruit to soak one time for next year.
So we used to sit down and mash up those little seeds.
The nuts.
The nuts. And then they put it, they get a little sweetness, and then you get the nut.
I do that up to today. I eat prunes all the time.
Yeah.
I love prunes and dates.
And what they say, yeah, no, they're saying dates is another good...
I love prunes and dates.
They say dates is another...
A simple thing of, you see, soak 2 dates in the night time, and in the morning drink the water.
Oh.
Yeah, very good for you.
Never thought about that.
I'm telling you.
Soak the dates.
Overnight. And in the morning drink the water.
Okay. I remember growing up, what my grandmother used to do is that she would get bread, the house bread, leave it overnight, let it get stale, boil it and put it in a jar of water, put it in the fridge.
And drink the water.
And drink the water.
They say burn it.
Burn, yeah.
Burn it.
Yeah, burn the bread.
That's good for your stomach.
Burn the bread. And
that's good for your stomach.
No, we have all these things. We have all. If I tell my son, you know, we would burn it. He said, all you was real crazy in all your days.
Well, you're dotish.
Yeah, I say, look, if you want a good cooling, you burn a stale bread.
That is good for your stomach.
And you put it in the fridge and let it. You drink the water from that. And I mean, in your grandmother, those were good cool now.
Yeah.
You see, family, all you're real crazy when all you're going on. I say, that's
but those are the best thing to do.
Oh, yeah.
But that's what I'm telling you. Remember, we look a simple thing as what we call greens. Watercress.
Yeah.
How many people has eat watercress now? Anybody has eat watercress?
No. If people see you eating watercress now, you know what the first thing they say?
Yeah, if it's a cow.
But that was close to. That was my number 2 answer. You're a rabbit. Because you know rabbit eat another.
But I eat watercress every week.
But you see,
I like my watercress.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, these are things that we grew up with and we healthy. But now in these modern times and these modern packaging, I mean, it's unbelievable.
Well, that's what I'm telling you. We lose the essence of the foods that we used to eat because we're looking for processed foods.
Yeah.
We want things in a can. We want things that will last a year in the fridge. Give us our daily bread. God didn't tell you to have bread lasting a month in the fridge.
But I could recall, and as you mentioned, everything coming as far as we have peas and stuff, everything coming canned. I remember in the old days, my grandmother would put us to sit down, my brother and
shell peas. I do that up till a few months ago. And I sit down watching TV and shelling peas.
And when we were small, so apart from that, what we used to look forward is we used to take bets with one another. Who would be first home?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes when you break it, a little green fella watching you.
Yeah, you're watching you.
Yeah.
You're in the sweet eye.
Nowadays, you think you can get children to sit down and shell peas?
No, they're doing it. The only thing I just got my daughter to do, you see sorrel? She loves sorrel so much. She will sit down and clean sorrel. Any amount of sorrel you put for her, she will clean it.
Yeah.
Any amount.
Yeah.
Look, today I had fish with fresh peas that we shell.
Yeah.
I will sit down and shell, like my grandmother used to do that. Shell peas, full it in bag, and you have it there. Because you don't get peas throughout the year.
No.
So you have it.
The same thing.
But I like fresh pigeon peas.
Yeah. And
I will sit down and do the work.
Rather than going and buying these cans.
I will sit down and do the work because I know the taste is different.
Completely.
Totally different.
Completely different.
You cannot buy a can of pigeon peas and you shell pigeon peas and it tastes the same.
Big difference. Big difference. Big difference.
You can buy sorrel concentrate and you boil your own sorrel home and it tastes the same.
No.
Oh, it's going to taste the same.
Yeah. And it gives you a sort of accomplishment that, hey, look, this
I
is
did this.
I peel,
Yeah.
That's something that I went into the supermarket and I bought.
I tell you, the other day I made coconut chutney and carried for my neighbor. One of them tell me, say, boy, we cooking dal and rice today. It was a Sunday. And I so happy to get this coconut chutney. Another one I went and dropped by him, he said, when I get in a game, every time he see me, he does ask me for. But I went and buy my coconut, crack my coconut, roast my coconut, grate my coconut. I do everything. I get up early in the morning and I do it because my daughter like it.
The taste is different.
But believe me, it'll last long.
No, the taste is...
but that is...
And strange enough, you know, when you get involved, when you do these things on your own, when you're having dinner or you're having lunch, you enjoy it better than if you had bought it in a tin.
And one of the things I know for a fact, one of the things that I know for a fact, you see, when you hold food with your fingers, it creates a chemical reaction. That's why it's good to take food with your fingers and put it in your mouth. There are fine restaurants now that are teaching people to do that. Don't use knife and fork. Use your fingers.
Anyway, folks, taking a time 23 minutes after 11 o'clock. You are listening to Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM with your host, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center at St. Augustine. Our lines are open for those of you who would love to interact with them, something sexual that you might have on your mind that is bothering you and you need to get answers. This is the forum for it. 222-8255, also at 612-8255. For those of you who are sending in text messages, you can also send it at 740-1961. I'll tell you what we...
The lady with the celery say I reading her text message. I don't answer that long time. You're not listening. Or the man with this, I don't know who it is, but you're not listening. If you listen to the program, you'll get the answer.
So tell you what we are going to do is go to the lines. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening. Hello, good evening. Hi.
Hello.
No.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
So the over 50 question and the salary question, I answered that long time. I'm moving on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We passed that. We almost by Google Beth now. So we passed.
Yeah. When you ask that question, you're supposed to be listening to the radio to get the answer.
Anyway, folks, taking our time, 24 minutes after 11 o'clock, Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM. I tell you, taking sex education where it has never been before. With the goal of sex education, the only one in Bay Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center at St. Augustine. Our lines are open and he are taking your calls at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. Yeah.
Yes, so what's this?
Who's that?
No, that's not the name that it's marketed under now. There's a new name that Prunes is marketed under. I'll get it in a while. Dry plums.
Dry plums.
Yeah. That's the new name they're marketing under. They don't call it prunes anymore. Dry plums. Because it is a special plum they use to make prunes.
Oh, okay.
Right? And it is a European plum. It's a smaller plum. But it's called dried plums. And that's right, dried plums.
Yeah, because sometimes... No.
Thank you, Evangeline. Thank you very much.
And
it's good to know that you're listening to the program, my dear.
Who's this?
Evangeline. She's also from the Princess Town area.
I like the, you know what I like about you, eh? I'll tell you. I like the impression when I ask you who it is, the expression that you give to it.
So the person wanted to know if organic food is good to eat when you're over 50. Yes, and celery is the best way to eat celery. Is all three ways. You could juice it, you could cook it, and you could eat it raw.
Someone brought me celery the other day, and just the way it looked.
Quilly and
yeah, like in our moms.
No. I throw that away, but that.
And the neighbor, our neighbor, she said, "Boy, if you know I love this."
I love celery. I love celery.
Okay. How do you make it into a drink?
I eat it just so.
Just like that?
Yeah.
No.
I tell you, I grew up in this old school. But let me tell you something. My father, you couldn't sit down to have a Sunday meal without having water. Well, he used to call it cressel. Without having cressel on the table and lettuce in. You could not sit down to have a meal without that on the table. And as fast as he did, I eat it too. So I grew up with that habit. So if you can eat something like cressel, which is a bit bitter, there's a bitter-ish taste. Celery is nothing to eat. But you know when you buy buffalo wings, you get celery with it. That's an essential part of buffalo wings. It must come. If you buy buffalo wings and don't get celery with it, it's not buffalo wings. Blue cheese, celery, and buffalo wings. It comes together. That's the package. Because you know how that came about. You know buffalo wings came about.
No.
Buffalo wings came about after a game where the Buffalo Bills won a game. These people went to a pub that was open. Well, what they call a bar in the United States. That was open. And they were hungry. So they asked the guy what he has to eat. He went and he took some of the wings and marinated it in vinegar, fried it, had some blue cheese, put it in a jar, and cut up some celery stick and stick it in it and give it to them. And that's how buffalo wings were invented. Buffalo wings is not from buffaloes. That's how the name came about, because of the Buffalo Bill. That's how they invented the name Buffalo Wings. And it was invented after a football game.
Yeah, because I always wondered.
No, that's how it came about.
No, when I say I always wondered how they came up with the name Buffalo Wings and Buffalo is on the wing.
Well, correct. Because of the Buffalo Bills. That was a football team, I think in New York.
Yes,
right.
Upstate New York.
Upstate New York. And that's how it came about. And then people went back there asking for buffalo wings. You remember that thing you made the other night for me, the buffalo wings? Come now, man, let me get that again.
And that's
so that's the staple, the real way to serve buffalo wings, which they don't do in Trinidad, most places. You have to serve it with blue cheese and celery stick. Take that call.
Okay. Okay, we go back to the lines. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. That person left us 2228255, also at 6128255. You are on the inside of Sexplosion on Power 2.1 FM, the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj running an on Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center at St. Augustine. Yeah.
So you see, everything has a basis in. Everything has a history. In Trinidad, you go and you order buffalo wings and you ask them, where's the celery and the blue cheese? And they're looking like if you're stupid. You know what they call an Arnold Palmer? Well, let me give you this joke. There's a popular American franchise restaurant in Trinidad. Now, I love Arnold Palmer. Arnold Palmer was a famous golfer, as you know.
Arnold, yeah.
He invented a drink, and it's called the Arnold Palmer. So I went to this place and I told them I want an Arnold Palmer. This is an American restaurant, so I expect them to know what it is. Well, nobody knew what it was. So I went to the guy, the mixologist, and I tell him, I say, you have lemonade? I say, yeah. I say, give me a glass of lemonade. The girl will put it on my bill. I say, you have iced tea? Yeah. Give me a glass of iced tea. I say, could you give me another glass without anything in it? And I do so. Pour half of this and half of that. I say, that's an Arnold Palmer. You're a mixologist? What kind of mixologist are you? You're idiot. In my mind, I say, no. You're a mixologist. Went to mixology school and you don't know Arnold Palmer, a basic drink?
Yeah, Arnold Palmer, yeah.
That's a basic drink. It's a non-alcoholic drink made from lemonade and iced tea.
And it's popular.
Very popular.
It's popular.
You ask for that anyway. they know what it is, except here. But it shows you're a mixologist. You're training in mixology, and you don't know what is a basic Arnold Palmer. And you know what the person, when I tell them what it was by table and thing, they can't do it, you know. I say, what do you mean you can't do it? Wait, you can't make an Arnold Palmer? So I say, well, let me get the ingredients and I make it right here for myself. So obviously I pay for a glass of lemonade and a glass of iced tea. I made 2 glasses of Arnold Palmer, one for myself and one for my partner, because he liked it also. And we sat and we drank it.
And they are the franchisee.
And they are the franchise, they can't do it.
They don't even know heaven from
No, but that's what I'm telling you. Sometimes people pretend they know something or they think they know something, but they really don't. They don't. So you watch them and you say, what? That's why I tell you, sometimes you go and you order buffalo wings and you're looking for the blue cheese and you're looking for the celery. And they were like, they're watching you and say, what are you talking about? But that is what the meal is. A buffalo wing meal must come with blue cheese dip and celery. Otherwise, it is not a buffalo.
Anyway, folks, taking 29 minutes before 12 o'clock, Sexplosion on Power 2.1 FM, the only sexologist in the Caribbean, your host, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center at St. Augustine. Well, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.
No, somebody will look to call.
No.
If I was you, put it on.
What, take the call?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Are you here?
Hi, hello, and welcome to Sexplosion. We're going to go for that break right after this call. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, good evening.
Dr. Raj.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, hello. Okay, that person left us. So we're going to take that break and we're going to be right back.
Start your weekends with Sir Charles and Calypso Classics. Saturday mornings, 7 to 9 a.m. Calypso Classics. Enjoy classics from all the greats of Calypso: Sparrow, Scallon, Kitchener, Brother, Shadow, Power 102.
on Power 102 FM.
With the best music and personalities to power your day. All day on a Saturday. Sir Charles, Chris, DJ Maggie, Gayland, and the ultimate DJ Shane.
This is Capri, and you're listening to Power 102.
All inclusive Saturdays on Power 102 FM. The power of music.
Trinidadians good, you know. You know that restaurant in Texas de Brazil?
Yeah.
They cross out the Brazil and put Texas de Belgium, you know.
Sexplosion.
I know. Texas de Belgium. Just out of the way restaurant, we went and we ordered food. And the chef came out and asked us how the food tastes. The chef. Not the owner of the place or anything, the chef. And I told him, I said, this food is mind-blowing. Everything. We had 9 different meals. And every person had something positive to say. But the potato was mind-blowing.
I love potatoes.
Well, taking our time, 25 minutes before 12 o'clock, Sexplosion on Power 2.1 FM, the guru of sex education, the only one in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center at St. Augustine. Folks, you've got 25 minutes for those of you who would like to interact with Dr. Raj via the telephone. Our lines are open at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. If you are sending in a WhatsApp message, you can also do that on his private mobile, 740-1961. You can also send in your messages on our website at Power 102 FM. Yeah.
So, many a times, when we want to continue our life on a certain path, with a certain thread, to do certain things. You remember I was telling you about that thing called need and want?
Yeah, need and want.
That is another factor that will cause your sex life to be great throughout, taking care of the needs. There's a mental need and there's a physical need. Many a times we don't feed the mental need, so we cannot perform physically. Sometimes we suppress the mental need because we are ashamed or we don't want to manifest it to ourselves or to our lover. And we kill our physical attributes.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes you need to feed the physical by dealing with the mental, the needs, not the wants, the needs.
Yeah.
So that is also food for thought, and that is also food for you sexually. Some of these simple things, you see things like natural food like honey.
Yeah.
Honey is very good for you.
always
Cinnamon, very good for you. Garlic, ginger, turmeric, those are things that are very good for you.
Well, I always hear people speak well of honey.
Of course.
They say honey is very, very,
very good for you. Very good. I remember they used to make a, this was in the 70s, the orange peel. You take the orange peel and you soak it in honey. And you leave it for as long as you could. And then you drink that honey. That mixture of that orange peel and that honey is good for your throat. It's good for many different things.
Yeah, I always hear the, but honey is one of the...
Well, you know, honey is the only food that don't spoil it. Pure honey cannot spoil it.
No?
Cannot spoil.
So you can have honey there?
You could have... They have found pure honey in the tombs of pharaohs that is still good to consume.
After so many...
After thousands of years.
As your grandmother would say, donkey years?
Donkey years. Honey cannot spoil. Pure honey cannot spoil. It's the only food that does not spoil.
Wow.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
I never knew that.
Well, I'm telling you.
I never thought
And the
about
best thing for energy is honey. If you don't have the energy for sex, take a teaspoon of honey and swallow it. If you have a cut, put honey on it, you know. It cures that too, you know.
Wow.
Honey has curative powers, you know, just as cobweb. Does the same thing, but honey does that too.
I heard they...
Pure honey does that.
They mentioned cobweb. That
Yeah.
the thing that...
Pure honey is very good for you. It's good for your skin. It's good for your intestine. It's good for your sexual health. It's good for everything.
Well, I got to look at my honey different. I got to look at my
Though,
honey different.
you're going to use more of your honey, eh?
I had to look at my honey different from tonight, boy.
You're going to use up your honey.
Yeah. And it's good. Honey is good if you're having sex to rub over your partner.
Well, you could put it on the person and lick it off also.
Yeah. Well,
The nipples, it gives you the energy.
Yeah, I could.
Honey is the fastest form of energy you could get, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I could just think, honey, licking honey off your partner.
Nipples.
Yeah.
You put some right on the clitoris.
The difference is like a prune.
No, not like a prune.
No one to say. Anyway, folks,
you talk about a sweet and salt prawns?
Anyhow, folks, taking the time 20 minutes before 12 o'clock. For those of you joining us for the very first time, Sexplosion with your host, Dr. Raj, is a feature here on Power 2.1 FM on a Thursday evening between 7 and 9 o'clock. Then he's back here with us on a Friday from 9 until 12. Nobody does better what we do best when it comes to sex education, taking it where it has never been before. Only on Power 102 FM. Yeah.
Well, you know, one of the things that I always like to mention, and I held it back for last, is good old chocolate.
Oh, hey. Yeah.
In all form and fashion.
Well, I don't...
Even eating the cocoa beans raw.
No, I ain't going there with that.
You never eat cocoa beans raw?
No, never. No, never.
And you grew up in Rio Claro?
Well, I had a couple of years there, but I never ventured.
You see, they should have taken a bramblewood and cut your tail.
Yeah, but I'll tell you something, I always was curious about it, because I'll tell you why.
You never saw cocoa?
Driving wrong in Niaro.
You never saw cocoa?
No.
You never crack cocoa and suck it, the pulp?
No.
You never do that, Junior?
No. But I'll tell you, you know, it always amazed me that when you're driving through Miaro and you're seeing the cocoa trees, and I always wonder, but I don't like cocoa. I don't know. And I think one of the reasons...
You don't like cocoa?
I don't know. I think one of the reasons for that is I was forced to... You know, when you're growing up in the old school and you're young, and your old grandmother used to make cocoa here, and it was like mud.
Yeah, you have to drink that.
Yeah. Oh. When you put no, I could still feel it here.
You ever see when they make cocoa tea, hot cocoa tea, and they make the flour, they mix it, and they pass it through a strain, and they let it drop inside and let it boil. So you get in a little flour ball with that.
God. No, your brother can handle that, boy. No, your brother can handle that.
What kind of bushman you is, boy?
No,
wait, you don't like cocoa?
No, I can't. And I'll tell you one...
You see chocolate?
Yeah, but I'll tell you what was one of the turn off, eh? And you will have some experience in that because you grew up in that era, and I mean, you love cocoa as well. Is, you know, sometimes when my grandmother made it, and you put it to your mouth, they used to have a scent that comes out.
Yeah, well, if you get...
That's
the best scent in the world, boy.
You gotta be kidding me.
That's the best scent in the world.
That was a turn off. That was a turn off for me.
You know, well, the cocoa came from the Mexican. Mm-hmm. Well, not the Mexican, but the Incas.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that was a gift from God. Yeah. Cocoa, yeah. Cocoa plant. Yeah. Mm. And cocoa plant is an elixir. Mm-hmm. It is also an aphrodisiac. Mm-hmm. It is everything in one, you know.
I remember when, and when she used to make that, she sit down and she watching you know.
You have to sit down and watch your person drink it.
Sometimes...
well, you real bad boy, you.
No, sometimes...
And you get it in an enamel cup, eh?
Yeah, and it have the little white thing come up by the top.
Chip, it has a chip. It must chip.
Enamel cup is not a cup.
All my enamel cup chip.
Same thing with posies.
All my enamel cup chip.
No.
If it have a chip on it, I don't want it. I don't want a fresh, new enamel cup.
My grandmother used to put us to sit down and watch us drink that cocoa. And you know how I used to do? I used to put my fingers over my nose. And block my nose.
Just cork your nose. But cocoa smells so good.
Not to get the smell, eh? And she used to give us a bonus, eh?
What was the bonus?
You take biscuit.
And soak it in it. Of course.
Family
but I pour people food.
Family when I used to eat.
I pour people food.
When your brother eat 3 biscuits and she say, it's 6 biscuits I give you, no?
They have to eat the 6.
You have to eat the 6 biscuits.
They can't waste the biscuit. And then that time biscuit used to come in a tin.
Yeah, because that will keep you going. That will keep you going for the rest.
Correct. When I swell up in your belly, so.
But could you imagine stuffing your nose, eating a
biscuit? when I swell up in your belly, so you can't. You're hungry for days.
You know, but the thing about it, the frightening thing about it in those days was, you know, when you put the biscuit in your mouth and it mixed with the coconut mash up. Oh, jeez, on ages. Oh, God.
There was a technique in doing that. There was a technique where you can't let the biscuit get too soft.
My eyes watering, I'm just thinking about it. It's like drinking.
Yeah, but Junior, there is a technique for you can't let the biscuit get too soft. No. You leave it in the hot cocoa too long.
No, when she used to say, hey, leave it until you eat it when it floats in.
Oh, you mean she was the one that used to put it in the tea?
Oh, yeah.
Well, right, there was a technique for that too.
You know why she would tell you.
The one underneath used to get sappy.
Oh, God, she said, you know, because when you go
that's the one I hate.
You see, you know, when you go out and you hang out maybe for about 2 hours, you will feel hungry again. So what I'm doing is making sure that with 6 biscuits with cocoa.
Ooh, listen to this, hot cocoa tea with fried roti and butter. Aye.
And strange enough you mentioned that, because you know the simplest of things.
I like fried bacon. You see, I fried bacon and plantain, or fried bacon and cheese.
You know,
and hot cocoa tea.
You know
that's my basic food on a Thursday, because that's my fasting day.
Okay, we're going to go back to the lines. Hello, welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Hi.
Good evening, Dr. Raj.
Could you take the volume down on your radio so you can talk to us?
Right. Yeah.
Dr. Raj, how are you going, boy?
I'm all right.
Where is the angels?
I think they had one. What? Yeah. Yeah, what I was saying there before we went for that little break there.
About the cocotti? We were talking about fry bake and cheese or butter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you know what? You ever make tea, green tea, real tea? Because you know in Trinidad we call everything tea.
Yeah.
And put a little bit of butter in that, salt butter or something in it.
Yeah, I go in there and that.
But you really sure you grew up in Rio Claro?
I had a couple of years. Yeah, but you know what I enjoyed tonight? Which is very simple, and you know you will laugh at me, your brother here. A dal roti, warm it and put butter.
Dal puri, I just put cheese.
And had a little
crisp.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, that and tea alone.
I enjoy
that and cocoa tea alone.
I enjoy that so just the plain.
Yeah, you drop it on the tower and you reheat it and it get crispy. And you fold it in two and you fold it in four. And then fold it in 1/8 and you eat from the tip come down.
Yeah, you won't believe how I enjoy that.
But those are the simple good foods that I love. I grew up with that and I will not give up that for the world.
Yeah, but
you ever eat egg and saltfish?
Oh yeah.
I love that.
Oh yeah.
Or egg and aloo.
As a matter of fact, I had bake with bulgur and egg mix.
But egg and saltfish, I'm talking about fry up the egg with the saltfish together.
Yeah, you know, until the fish kind of little.
Bro.
Hey, but you're making me hungry already, yeah? Better get the family name you, Clara, to make some kind of bacon thing there.
She says she'll make it.
We'll get some family
once we visit, we'll get that.
Yeah. Anyway, folks, taking our time, it's now 12 minutes before 12 o'clock. Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM with the guru of sex education, the only one in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj. So we go back to the lines. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening. You know, you always get clowns coming out.
No, he used to play jam toti, not for butternut, you know.
Yeah.
He used to play jam toti for Paradise Plum.
I can even go a little bit further than that.
And you know, you look for the fruits that are available at the time.
Another thing I haven't seen growing, and it was very popular, and I'd love dongs. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Good evening.
Raj.
Yes.
How you doing?
Catch him one time. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, every time you jackass say Raj.
Yeah.
Well, if you call it to contribute something, what are you addressing me for?
You're listening.
For every time I hear the jackass say that, cut him off.
Yeah. You're listening.
Because now you'll get all the idiots and asses calling.
Yeah, you get a constructive.
Yeah, now you'll get all the asses calling. So.
Hi, hello, and welcome to Sexplosion. Hello. Hello.
Yes. Good evening.
There is one called lemonade. They say it's good for diabetes, arthritis, and also HIV as well. Can you tell me if that is good?
I will tell you in one word. N-O. I said I answer your question. N-O.
Okay. All right, thank you. Okay.
Okay, well, thanks a lot for calling. Yeah. So you still got a couple of minutes in which you can interact with Dr. Raj via the telephone 222-8255, also at 612-8255. Sexplosion on Power 2.1 FM, Thursday from 7 until 9 o'clock, then back here on a Friday evening between 9 and 12. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me hope the idiots don't call back.
Yeah, but those were good.
No, but that's what I'm telling you about good food. Good, healthy food.
Yeah, but
the fat in cocoa is very good for you, you know. It's not bad fat. That's why I tell you, if you ever eat the cocoa bean raw, the cocoa bean raw, and you taste what real cocoa is supposed to taste like. You know, some of the best chocolate in the world comes from Trinidad. And Trinidad makes a chocolate bar that comes from Vancouver. You should try eating that. When I take it for my friends overseas and they taste that, and I tell them this is what real cocoa does taste like, they never knew, because they are accustomed eating all that junk that they sell in America, mixed with sugar and all kind of thing. And when it tastes real chocolate, real cocoa, it just blow their mind, you know.
But we're on top of the world as far as real cocoa.
Yeah.
I think
But when you taste that real stuff, it blows your mind, because you get that actual authentic cocoa taste. So you talk about cocoa. You ever suck a honeycomb?
Honeycomb.
You don't know what that is. You
maybe,
don't know?
Maybe if you describe it, maybe I knew that.
Honeycomb is what they take out from the honeybee nest. The cone filled with honey. You can't eat it. You just suck the honey. That is super nice.
I tried that in the early
Yeah. Honeycomb.
And you get the nice sweetness, until it dries.
Correct.
Yeah.
You get waxy.
Yeah, wax,
spit it out. You spit out the wax.
Yeah. But another thing, as I mentioned to you before we went to the lines, that I haven't been seeing around that I used to see other dongs. I don't see it.
There's a big dung street down in Carnage area.
Okay, what we are going to do is go back to the lines. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Hello?
Yeah. Good evening.
He's going all right. He's now getting ready to fly the call.
If you have something to contribute now. What do you want to talk to me for? Are you singing good? Let me tell you a little something. I am fantastic. Don't call me and ask me how I am. I am a fantastic person. I feel great. I am grateful.
And you have no complaints.
And I have no complaints. So don't ask me how I'm going. Don't try to engage me in any old talk. If you have something to contribute to the program, please contribute.
Yeah.
If you have a comment to make positively, do that.
You won't old talk.
No. How are you going, Dr. Raj? If I wasn't going good, I wouldn't be here doing a program.
That's correct. Anyway, folks, taking your time, it's now 6 minutes before 12. You still got time in which you can interact with Dr. Raj on Power 2.1 FM at 222-8255, also at 612-8255.
So all these natural foods is what you should be consuming. Make sure you incorporate that. That's why when fruits are in season, I make sure I have whatever fruits are in season.
I'm a food person.
I go and look for kaimit and sapodilla.
Yeah.
I look for all these things. Wherever I see it, I buy it, you know, mister.
Yeah, climate, like when you fix...
Mommy support.
Never climate, one thing. You can't have climate before having sex.
Why? You go stick up your mouth? Nah, you're eating the climate right. You're eating the climate right. Which one eating? The green climate or the purple one? Well, the green one does have more stickiness.
Yeah, the green one is the purple one. And I used to like sapodilla as well. Sapodilla, I love sapodilla.
Citrus too. I love all citrus.
Yeah, but you don't see these things again. You
have to look for it. You have to look for it.
I'm guessing the countryside. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Hello.
Good evening.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Well, they don't make cocoa. They don't make cocoa balls without tonka bean. You must have that in it.
Yes.
You must have that in it. Yeah. But yeah. Yes. Yeah. And it's have a butter in a dish. Right. Button bush too. Button bush growing up on the citrus tree.
And then, father used to boycott the grocery because he bring in some tall tree, a broadleaf. You bring in some of that bacano leaf.
Uh-huh.
When you don't boil the bacano leaf and you put your milk in it, up to now, it's down to 20.
It what?
You can't eat 20, you get it local at 20.
Oh, yeah, bacano.
Bacano leaf.
Yeah. And you know, you have bacano all about the place, you know?
Yeah, I know bacano leaf.
Yes, best tea in the world. And it has so many things that we have put aside.
Throw it away, we throw it away.
Yeah, the young people know nothing about that.
Very quick fix, you know.
We look for the quick fix, correct.
Yeah, we want a quick fix. And when you think about it, we have everything at reach.
We force,
Happiest people in the world.
correct, and we forsake all our own thing.
Yes, that's why we do so. And we singing and listen well. And may God bless our nation. It's not may God bless, you know.
It's me.
God have blessed us abundantly.
Correct.
God have blessed us abundantly with every living thing that you want. When you West Indian cherry, you might even see.
Yeah.
And you go on and on with your pigeon peas, and you're picking it in the garden, you're shelling and you're eating.
Raw gesso.
Yes, you're eating 2 or 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
And if you leave home without teeth, you want to clean your corn. If I tell you, pick 2 corn and one sit down and eat that mango tree. You're eating it raw, yes, so.
Correct.
I want to take up too much time when you throw your safety pin over with my fish.
No.
When you throw it in the river, you put it out a big chunk. We call it the river shark.
You real know eating, right?
Yeah, you know it.
Now you can't see how I mean.
No.
Now you can't see it.
No, you can't.
Cascarov is my favorite.
Cascado.
Well, cascado, you still get cascado, but I don't like the imported cascado. I like my manzanilla cascado.
Oh, I know what to say, manzanilla.
Cocal.
Manzanilla.
Cocal cascado. I like that.
Yeah. Look, hey, I tell you, those are good old days.
Lisa said Junior needs to come down south. He will get all this fruit. So we have to go down south. We really have to make some time and go and visit our listeners in Rio Claro especially.
Yeah, Rio Claro.
And get that nice cocoa tea.
Yeah.
With the bay leaf and the tonka bean and all the things mixed up in it.
It's going to be a nice experience for me because
you'll have to cork your nose to drink yours. I'll drink mine just like that.
Yeah. No, I'll walk with a little bit of cotton.
No, you'll have to get a clip, put a close clip on your nose.
No,
put a close clip on your nose.
Cotton because I won't look that bad now. So
Anyway, folks, we have reached the end of our program. Until next week. Remember, Thursday's program is from 7 to 9, Sexplosion 7 to 9 on a Thursday, and on a Friday from 9 till 12. Good night. Have a safe weekend.
You have been listening to Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM with the only sexologist in the